You mentioned Grant, played with him in the Cape. Is there anybody else, maybe somebody that was a freshman that's going in a sophomore like Grant, that LSU fans should keep an eye on next year?
In our first meeting was like, yeah, we got the 6-year guys like Vittmeyer and Bianco. I'm like, bro, I'm a normal senior. He goes, are you really? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I swear.
I don't even know this one.
Did you know Hideki had a huge porn collection?
See, I'll just read that up.
No, Google it. Google it.
What did y'all give him this morning? He is off the racks over here. Man. He asked me specifically for Vyvanse this morning. Didn't give it to him. I was confused.
Oh, look out. Mikey is hit and down he goes. Man. And he is not happy at all. That is the second time that Mikie Mahtook has been hit in this game. But
7 or 7:30 exam in the morning, so I'll walk outside.
Real life.
And I'm walking in my car, and I'm like, damn, I know, man, I could have sworn I parked over here. I'm like, what? Nah, maybe it's out here. I'm gonna go look around over here, bro. I walked like 3 parking spots, like in the direction I thought I probably parked. I'm like, fuck that! I know I parked right here.
Doing that and out there playing for hours instead of just chilling on the video games is also insane.
Chilling on the video games. Did you just age 55,000 years?
Well, we call them Fortnite nerds.
Yeah. Chilling on the video games.
I mean, chilling, like playing video games.
That's the way to say it, yes?
You think an old man would say chilling on the video games?
That's what you just said, yes.
You think an old man would say chilling?
On the video games?
On the video games?
Yeah.
Oh well.
You're an old man.
If you want,
Well,
I'm not a gamer.
You're getting older.
I mean, I guess
Mikey.
Hello. Good evening. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, January 16th. Happy MLK Day. This is a federal national holiday day to remember and give his due. Remember Martin Luther King Jr. for all he's done for the United States of America and the world, really. And so happy MLK Day. Lloyd?
The government killed him.
Okay, well, welcome to the show.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I told y'all we miss having our Friday shows. We will have our Friday show. It will not be this week, but it will be next week. We're going to cut a promo. We'll let everybody understand it and know what's going on.
See, even when you mention promo, you get all flustered.
We don't have our Friday sponsor, or I say we don't have it. We have, we're looking for our Friday sponsor and how we want to create our Friday shows. Yes, it was very good at what we've done. They are growing. We are growing. It was a great match. We love Uncle Earl's. We have a great time. We frequent Uncle Earl's very often. And, now going into the new year, we are bringing in new sponsors, doing new things. And part of that is trying to figure out how Friday shows are going to look. Before baseball season, they're going to look one way. Once baseball season starts, they're going to look a different way. It's the beauty of being on the internet. It's the beauty of digital media. You can do what you want, when you want, how you want. And that's part of what we're doing. So instead of having a show last Friday and then having to skip this Friday because our good friend sitting right here, Jared C. Mitchell.
To your left.
Jared C. Mitchell to my left is tying the knot out there in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Yeah, no shoes, baby.
And we are going to have a very good
Prison
time.
style.
No shoes, baby.
Actually, you got to bring your basketball shoes. Apparently, there's a nice basketball.
Well, I'm just talking about, at the ceremony. No knots.
we're going
I'll
barefoot.
have no knots. Well, I'm not going barefoot.
No, I'm joking. So, Jay Mitch, so we are leaving this weekend. Jared's leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving on Thursday.
No. Wednesday.
Oh, you're leaving on Wednesday. My bad.
Wednesday morning.
Jared's leaving on Wednesday.
I'm leaving on Thursday.
Lloyd's leaving on Thursday.
Yes.
I'm leaving on Thursday. Lloyd's jumping into my suitcase, getting onto the plane so he can sneak in. That's something that somehow he would make that happen. We didn't want to have a show last Friday and then not have one this Friday. We will be back to our regularly scheduled programming the week after. Now, time, we're going to give you that. I said once we cut a promo and we give you all of the information, that's when it's going to be. But needless to say, we missed y'all. We loved you. This was a great weekend. I am excited to talk about this weekend in sports. Not so much LSU basketball. They got stomped, and they got pretty much run out the gym, and it was over from very, very early in the game. It literally looked at, and Lloyd said it best, it looked like it was a high-level varsity team going against a JV team. This is no slight to LSU. They do have some talent. They have a lot of talented guys on their team. New coach. Things are going to get better. But Alabama would chuck up a three, miss it, get the rebound, kick it out. Chuck up a three, miss it, get the rebound, kick it out. Third three, always going in.
Yeah.
It happened 3 straight possessions. I watched. I was like, damn. Rebound, offensive rebound, kick it back out. Miss, offensive rebound, kick it back out. Oh, this one's going in. Always went in. It always happened when LSU was making a run. Didn't look very good. Alabama is one of the top 4 teams in the country, if not the top team in the country right now. They have LSU has a little ways to go.
You think they watched that film?
Boy.
Burn it.
Who's the guy on Instagram or TikTok or whatever that
I
dicks
don't know
all
his
this stuff?
name. I always forget his
Hey,
name.
when he
He'd
talks
be
about
great.
the film study in the NFL,
He'd
I
be
wish
great.
he would be in there right
He'd
now.
be great.
Because that would be – but they have a lot of things they need to fix. They got to figure out how to get some scoring from somebody else outside of KJ Williams. They have to figure out how to get better on the boards. They are getting out-rebounded to teams that are more physical. Now, these teams they're very long. They're very talented. The coach has been there for a while. They're established. They're building a culture. It's going to take Matt McMahon a little bit of time to do that. They do have some talent. I would like to see these 5-star freshmen that we have on the bench start playing and start developing to become, because the schedule does not get any easier
At all.
at all. It only gets harder. And they are 1-3, I think, in conference. They've lost 3 straight.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any. Actually, they're 1-4 in conference. They lost to Kentucky, A&M, Florida, Alabama. So they're 1-4 in conference, 4 straight losses. They have to figure out how to score. They have to figure out.
Tight.
What's that?
To tight. Dope.
Yeah, not good. But
It's so bad.
we don't want to talk about. That's not what I'm excited to talk about. I think that they're eventually going to be better. This year is going to be it's going to be a rough one. It seems like. Doesn't look like they now. Maybe they flip the switch and they start scoring and it's whatever. But
Would you have rather them just have lost to Arkansas? 'Cause
No.
It felt like we got
Why?
our
Why would you want that?
because they got our hopes up just a touch.
no, I mean.
And
I think-
now I keep tuning in and I keep tuning out.
I'm always going to tune in. That's just the way I am. I'm always going to watch it. I'm hoping that they get better. I'm optimistic that they're going to get better. We will see if they get better. Like I
Well, I
said,
just tell you he's a fair weather guy.
yeah, I
If you
know.
didn't- If
I
you
mean,
missed that part
I
of it.
did. I mean, I kind of understood.
You know what I'm
that
not
already.
fair weather about? Is LSU women's basketball.
LSU women's basketball, and that's Joe Schwartz is coming in studio at 7. He is the director of basketball operations. Technically, he's like an assistant coach. I'd imagine that he's on the field, on the court, practicing with them. He understands. He has a really good relationship with all the girls on the team. He has a close relationship with Kim Mulkey. Personally, like she's known, he's grown up with her. He's basically like another son to her. He has a lot of insight on the team. He is very good at promoting the women's basketball team, and he should be because they are 18-0. They're ranked number 3 in the country. Angel Reese has 18 straight double-doubles. She's about to beat Sylvia Fowles as the most consecutive double-doubles in a row, as that's what consecutive means. Most consecutive games with a double-double at
You
19.
tell me.
And Simone Augustus had got her statue retired, which is very well deserved. Before Sunday's game, which was a huge crowd. I don't know if it was sold out, but it was close. They go out there, and it was supposed to be a tough matchup. The Missouri was supposed to be a tough matchup. This was supposed to be a tougher matchup. LSU basketball is just kind of boat racing through their schedule right now. They're up to number 3 in the country, and I'd imagine that LSU South Carolina game is going to have a lot of national recognition, and it's gonna be very fun, especially because all of the drama that happened behind the scenes and between the coaches whenever Kim Mulkey became the coach at LSU. Because I think that Kim's kind of speaking for herself right now as, hey, you know what? This is how much coaching matters, especially in basketball or especially in women's basketball, right? Where you're going to have to go out. Like, you look at Baylor. Baylor is unranked for the first time since 2004. They're not ranked in the top 25 in women's basketball. First time since 2004. Kim Mulkey comes to LSU. Their first year at LSU after winning, I think, one game the year before, one conference game or whatever their record was abysmal. Not one game. It was maybe 5 or 6. She comes in, they make it to the Sweet 16 or a game away from the Sweet 16. This year, they are undefeated, number 3 in the country. They have the number 1 recruiting class coming in the next year, and I would imagine that they continue to bring those recruits in. She talked about it takes 2 to 3 classes to build a sustainable program. She's got it figured out.
She was fibbing.
She does, yeah, but sustainable. Not to go out there and win the national championship, but to sustain it for years to come, because women's basketball, these girls will stay there for 4 years. So you have the ability to continue to reload, and you have them for an extended period of time. You're not getting the one and dones in women's basketball, so you don't have as much turnover. And so I understand what she means by the sustainable part, but they're right now ready to win a national championship. So we'll have Joe in. He'll talk all about that. We'll ask him all of the questions. He has all the answers. I don't have them. I'm just going based off of what I see. I wish I knew more for you, but we were going to get all of those answers. Sean Payton sweepstakes they're heating up, boys.
Boy, it's not heating up. It's on the stove.
It's on the burner.
Here's the deal. He is being interviewed this week. Not getting permission from the team to talk to the teams. He's already done that. They've already gotten permission to have a conversation with him, and now they have agreed to have interviews. 3 interviews: Cardinals, Panthers, Broncos. He's meeting with all 3 this week. I saw on the podcast with Colin Cowherd's show. I don't think it was a podcast. I think that was the one that was actually on TV. He said that he is going up to New York, maybe on Wednesday, to meet with the Panthers.
I have it if you want it.
I would love it. Right? Let's dissect what he's talking
Colin's
about.
gonna flag us?
I don't know. Is it up to him to flag us, or is it his network?
I imagine he's got some cronies.
So probably gonna get flagged.
I'd see. New to me.
Is that how?
Difficult questions.
Perfect. Did it.
Visit prior to then. Like I've talked with a few
Can we
teams.
pause it?
Nailed it.
Okay, there we go.
Got it.
There we go. He's going to New York to meet with Mr. Tepper. Mr. Tepper is obviously the owner of the Panthers. He is very rich. He is one of the richest owners in the NFL. Now, everybody that's listening, that's a Saints fan, that doesn't want to see Sean Payton on the other side in the division, playing him 2 times a year, I understand it. I would ideally not like to see him on that side either. But if you trade him to Carolina, that is you will get the most back from that team than you would any other team, because they are in division and you have to play them 2 times a year. So the price of trading a head coach or anybody in division would be higher than trading somebody that you don't have to play every year, right? Now, Carolina's got a lot of draft capital. They have a first rounder. They have a first rounder this year. I think they have 2 second rounders. They have a lot of guys. They have a lot of picks that they got from San Francisco when they traded McCaffrey over there to San Francisco. If you are going to trade Sean Payton there, I believe that you should take their first round pick from this year and next year, and you should get their second round pick from this year and next year. That way you take away 2 years away from them drafting a quarterback to be able to develop with Sean Payton. You take away this quarterback class, which I think a lot of people are pretty high on, especially early on. They're very high on next year's quarterback class too, with Caleb Williams and Drake May and all those guys. So you take away their 2 first-round picks. They can't draft a quarterback in the first round. I think that is worth it. Now, you take those first-round picks, and depending on where they're at, you either flip them and trade them for somebody else to get a higher first-round pick to draft a quarterback, or you use the first-round pick that you get to draft a quarterback in that slot. I don't know where the slots are going to be. I haven't done that much research. I'm proud of myself to even know that they had a first round and extra second rounders this year because of the trade. But you take those picks and you either package it to move up to get a quarterback, or you draft it in that slot if it's high enough in the draft. Now, he mentioned it going to Arizona. You go to Arizona, you become the head coach there. You have to deal with Baby Yoda over there, who likes to play a lot of PS5 and Call of Duty, and understand that's his nickname.
Is it really?
Yeah, Baby Yoda.
I thought you did that.
I wish I would have done that. That would have been great.
Because he does. He looks like a bad kid.
So
he looks like a kid that took something from you and he's running away.
So you go over there, you have to deal with it. It looks like DeAndre Hopkins is out.
Out.
Like, looks like he's gone. So now you're going to have to go there and you're going to have to figure out how to bring together a team that's broken. But they had the 3rd overall pick. I think you draft it, you trade him, you get the 3rd overall pick. That's obviously the quarterback. You get to pick Bryce Williams or Caleb CJ Stroud. I don't want to draft Will Levis because I think if you had Sean Payton, I think you draft him. If you don't, I think you draft the two guys who are more proven. I would rather Bryce Young. That would be the guy who, if we had to pick it, third overall, I hope he's there. I don't think that he's going to be there. I don't think that a quarterback's going to go 1 overall this year, though.
Will Anderson and who? And then the Georgia defensive
Jalen
tackle.
Carter. I just don't. Who's the number 1 overall pick?
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
No, who has the pick? What team?
Houston.
The Chicago Bears.
That's
the
why.
Bears have it over Houston.
That's why. So
yeah, but
they could flip.
That doesn't mean they can't move that pick.
No doubt, they could.
They can move the pick too. They don't have to just
for sure. That's true. They could trade the pick, but if they don't trade the pick and they keep it out, which they may, because they may say, you know what, I want Will Anderson to go there and wreak havoc like Micah Parsons has been doing for the Cowboys, and I like Justin Fields. I'm gonna keep him. If they don't draft a quarterback with 1 overall, that means you have 2 overall, 3 overall, and you would imagine Houston's going to draft either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. I don't know. I would imagine it's Bryce Young. Maybe C.J. Stroud got up.
C.J. just declared for the draft.
Right. Today was the last day you could do it. He did that. I would like to see, if you got the 3rd overall pick, you know you're going to get the quarterback of the future. That's where I'm going with that.
I feel like Jared has thoughts.
Yeah, I'm getting there. That's what I'm getting there.
It's going to be real interesting to see what the Bears do with it because, like, I think about them and I'm like, man, they got to get some help for Fields, right? Like, if you're going to keep him, you got to get some help for him. So there's quarterbacks and then 2 defensive players at the top of this thing.
That don't help Fields at all.
That don't help Fields at all, right? So I feel like if they're keeping him, they got to be trading out of this to go get some offensive help somewhere.
You're probably right.
Right, to go get some dynamic players to put on the outside for him.
Chase Claypool?
No, that guy's out of here. He's about as ridiculous as they get.
The Saints, like, the teams that we're mentioning are not the only teams that are going to be interested in Sean Payton. These are the only teams that he is going on an actual job interview with this week. Now, there's one team out there that some would say blew the biggest lead or was the most embarrassing loss, one of the most embarrassing losses in NFL playoff history. They were winning 27-0 against a second-year quarterback who threw 4 interceptions in the first half. Down 20, they were up 27-0. Game's pretty much over. You can basically you run the ball, punt, run the ball, run the ball, punt, run the ball, run the ball, punt, and you win the game.
How do you like my new offense?
Well, they decided I'm gonna sling it, and I'm just gonna run the ball very minimally in the second half, and I'm up 27-0. Well, they end up losing, which was great for
I don't even know if you knew this. You know who didn't have a single carry in the second half?
Who?
Eckler.
Didn't have 1 carry?
Not 1 carry in the second half.
Oh, my God. He's going to get his ass fired.
Well, that's where I'm getting to, right? So you see that. Now, it was great for my wallet and great for my betting account that the Jags made that comeback because I took a same-game parlay with the over and the Jags winning money line. That happened. I won that. I'm very happy. That was probably the only thing I won over the weekend.
How good did you feel after Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half?
I
fucking crushed it.
Probably stopped watching.
Didn't feel great.
No.
I stopped watching. But you lose the game.
I'm winning.
You lose the game in an embarrassing fashion. You go, listen, the Chargers are the same team who fired their coach after they went 14-2 and lost first round of the playoffs. Like, this is not, you can't say, oh, Brandon Staley, he's 10-7. No. They just fired a guy 14-2 who has won a lot in the regular season, couldn't win the postseason, you're out. Well, Brandon Staley, I think you're out. Now, rumor is, Jordan Schwartz tweeted that it looks like they are going to keep him. He's making $4 million this year. It looks like they're going to keep him, but he has to make some changes on the coaching staff, which is the first step of you're out kind of thing. Now, you called it, Jared, that you thought that if they lost out, especially in an embarrassing way, which I don't think you could have drawn. I don't think even when you said that, you could have drawn it up the way that they lost it.
Oh, my God.
You think that Brandon Staley was going to get fired and Sean Payton was going to go to...
No, I didn't say go, but I said
that would be a team because you have a quarterback already there. You have a team that already has all the pieces around. You just need a guy who can figure it out.
If you were wanting Sean Payton to be back in New Orleans, that's one spot you didn't want to be open or available.
And I think that New Orleans is out. right?
Double out.
Like
It feels like it.
But I will say with Sean,
It feels like they're having a good backroom shake on shake. We're gonna drive this price up as high
exactly.
as we can.
It seems like Sean, they're splitting amicably, right? Sean has said, "Listen, I'm taking the next step in my career, the next chapter of my career. Me and Mikie are still best friends." He's talked about it in that interview that we were just listening. He said, "Me and Mikie are still best friends. We talk all the time. We've had conversations about the compensation, on what it would take to get me, all these types of things." He said, mid to late first rounder. That's what he says. He goes, "No, that could change, obviously." But it seems like Sean is putting himself in a position, putting the Saints in a position to where he's trying to get the most for himself to benefit the organization that's been so good to him and benefit Mickey Loomis. And it seems like he's going to get that. He's doing – it's almost like they're working hand in hand. Which look, Saints own his rights. They have every right to do that. And it's a credit to Sean to be able to put himself in that position. But the Chargers look like it looked like their job's going to be open for him, and if he wants it, he wants it. Now
they're not firing him unless
Brandon Staley, unless
they can get Sean.
Yeah, but how are you gonna? You can't. Technically.
But you're also forgetting too. See, the thing about it is that situation happens over there, and maybe they make moves, but there's another team in that division who just had an awful year with a quarterback that they just paid $200 million to, who just had new owners who didn't get the quarterback or the coach that they just fired. So that price drives up really high to make sure that they can try to keep him away from the Chargers.
Right.
And that doesn't really say that he's actually going to take that job, but you now understand what this price is going to be now.
Right. No doubt. Now,
I don't see Sean Payton and Kyler Murray.
I don't either.
Right? And you have to think about this. If he goes to the Chargers, their ownership's not very good. That's part of his thing that he wants to be, the ownership has to be solid. He has to be able to trust the ownership. And it seems like the ownership there is not very good. Now, speaking of ownership, the one team that you would think, oh, this is a huge debacle, you don't want to mess there, the ownership there sucks, all this stuff, are the Texans. And Sean made sure in this interview with Colin Cowherd to say that, no, I would love to, that is not deterring me at all from going to Houston. I would love to go to Houston. I think there's a lot of things that we can go to Houston.
I think it is. I think that's another price move.
Maybe.
I think he's saying that there. Look, I get it because they have the easiest path to kind of their pick of the litter at the top of them. So they're like, yeah, I'm sure that's a part of like the opportunity that you're like, man, it's hard to turn away from that. But that place has been a debacle. And everybody knows it.
And to your point, if it's going to take a lot of capital and you're going to have to get the number 2 overall pick, why are you going to go somewhere where you know you have to bring in a quarterback and you're going to trade your quarterback pick away? So I don't think
Why did Lovie Smith think he was coaching for his job?
I don't think he did.
And maybe he did coach. Maybe by winning that game and not getting the 1 overall pick, you lost your job.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why are you coaching for
I think he knew he was out. I think he was like, hey.
But then don't win.
Oh, fuck it.
No, I think that's why he did it.
Fuck your number 1 pick.
I think that's why he did it, to not give him the number 1 pick. I think that's 100% what he did.
I will say this.
What do you mean? You can fire me anyway. You're out of here.
If you would have bet the Texans like the last 5 weeks of the season, they covered every week. Like they were
gambling?
They were in every game. My point is they actually played better towards the end of the season than they did beginning of the season. They didn't win a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But they were in every game.
Covered.
They covered every game, and they were double-digit underdogs to multiple teams, and they literally were like last possessions on all those games. They played better. I'm not saying that they're very good, and I'm not saying that's the team that he's going to go to, but he is going to interview there, and he made sure to pump them up. Which I think keep pumping everybody up because I want as much.
I was literally about to say
much draft picks that we can get in this trade.
I think wherever he's going to end up going is not one of the teams that's come out that's got a meeting or whatever scheduled with him.
And
I don't think that's where he's going to end up going.
That's what I was going to say. There's one more team left on the docket, and they play tonight.
Right, and I'm glad you said that. Perfect. Look at you, Mr. Segway over there.
I had to host a couple of days last week.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You hosted today too, didn't you?
Huh?
You hosted today. No, Noah hosted today. The Will Wade podcast.
Hey,
well, I think I'm kind of stealing it.
Hey,
I need to calm down.
Willie that's your boyfriend.
Willie loves me.
That one more docket team is to me, it's a very interesting.
It makes
situation.
so much sense,
but it doesn't.
Dallas, it
doesn't. You want to know why? To me, it doesn't make much sense. Is what does Sean really want? Like, what does he want outside of like what's actually on the playing field? He wants what? It's one word.
Total control.
Okay, you think
Jerry's gonna die?
You think? Yeah, gone, but he ain't there yet.
Yeah, but Jerry's
Why?
kid's
And
gonna
he
take
and
over,
I
his son's gonna
guarantee you,
take
while
over.
he's alive, he has got total control of that.
Did y'all
place.
see him salt his food on Hard Knocks? That man has.
So my point is I find it hard to believe, even though they got a quarterback probably in the right age group that I think that Sean's probably looking for. I find it hard to believe that he's like dead set sold on a place like that, knowing what the guy up top and how he operates and how he goes about stuff. It's hard for me to really see that.
I don't see
Jerry
them.
loves Martin Luther King Day, no doubt.
What?
Why
Jesus,
you say that?
dude, why would you bring that up?
What?
I just feel like
We're not gonna talk about
a month
this.
ago, we didn't think he loved Martin Luther King Day at all. What are you talking about?
We're not gonna.
When
we're
that
not gonna
picture
let-
surfaced.
We're not gonna. That's why we're not gonna let Lloyd derail this great
Show.
sports conversation. Okay. Easy over there. Just enough. Just keep giving me segues to what we need to talk about.
I was
Which
trying to get to
you
the
gave me the
holiday.
segue to the game tonight, right? Tampa has a home game with a losing record against the Cowboys because the Cowboys shit the bed towards the end of the year. Looked terrible. Dak
still
looked
shitting
terrible.
the bed.
They are not playing very well. They have to go on the road to Tampa Bay, who boat raced in the first game of the season. I know it was the first game of the season. Both teams are completely different than they were then. But this feels like, especially the way the Cowboys have been playing, it feels like it's going to be a sloppy, defensive-minded game, last possession type of thing. And if that's the case, I think Tom Brady takes the boys down, wins the game, and an ugly, and you're like, damn, how the hell did Tom and the Bucs win? Well, because they made the other team play sloppy and terrible like they have been the last month, and Tom's the GOAT, and if he has the ball, somehow he's going to figure out a way to score. That's what I think is going to happen. I may be wrong. I don't know.
I think it's the other way around.
But you think they're going to boat race them?
I don't think it's a boat race. I think Dallas goes on the. I feel like we're gonna get a pretty decent offensive game.
Okay.
I feel like there's gonna be some of that Mike Williams and Tom Brady magic. I won't say magic. I feel
Mike
like they're gonna
Evans?
play Mike Evans. My fault. I feel like they're gonna
Mike
play
Evans.
well. I think they're gonna play well. I think you're gonna get some offensive stats and stuff like that, and it's gonna be a good game. But I just think Dallas plays well, and I think it ends ugly for them next week.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I think.
Next week can happen. Speaking of next week, we have that division. They have three of those teams in the division in the playoffs. Both two of them are playing. Giants are playing the Eagles next week. Eagles need to be in an upset alert right now. Giants are doing like the whole Eli
I'm gonna
Manning
tell you right
year
now. If
where
you
they-
watch the Giants play on
Hey, they
Sunday,
look good. Good.
If you watch Daniel Jones play on Sunday and I showed you his stat line and I put, I don't know, Lamar Jackson's name or Jalen Hurts' name next to it, you'd have been like, this is a bona fide superstar. That's how well he played on Sunday. He played that well.
We're not taking into account playoff money though. So
He
listen,
says he's a honeybee.
hey, he may literally come out today and rush for 150 and 3 tuds. Like that's something that he would do today. If that's the case, I think they boat race the Cowboys. But
If they get a run game going,
I took the Bucks money line.
I did too.
You took a money line. Did you take anything on the game?
I didn't take anything.
You have
but
anything?
If
but
I was betting tonight, I would bet on the Cowboys.
I think
tonight.
you
But
should.
I 100.
I think you should bet tonight.
I'm with you, Jared. I'd hate the fact that I just called you Jared, but also I don't like this. The line is scary.
I'm not
Doesn't
worried
it
about the
feel
line.
like if you have Tom Brady in
No,
a,
see,
in
I
a
think-
winner
I-
go home scenario,
I disagree.
how is he catching points?
I think that he should be because the Cowboys are a better team on paper, so they should have. They're not going to go based off of what you did for me in the past. What have you done for me? What does the team
it's
look
Tom.
like now?
He's won 7 Super
That's
Bowls.
not how Vegas does their stuff.
That's true.
That's not how Vegas makes their lines. I don't have an issue with the line because I think the Cowboys should be favored in the game. I just don't think they're going to win.
How good did Saquon look for the Giants?
He's back, dude.
Oh my! I was
Hey,
enamored.
That guy's unbelievable.
Here's
He's
another.
healthy.
Here's another
He looked healthy.
conversation.
Healthy.
He's been healthy all year. He's a free agent, and Danny Dimes a free agent.
Danny Dobbs is running like a madman.
He always does. Danny Dimes over rushing yards is the lock of the day every game.
Why did they not know that?
They do.
They didn't game plan for him to every time they dropped. They did cover 2. They dropped Tampa 2 every time, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna take off."
You don't remember when he busted his ass on that long run? He got to like 22 miles an hour in sprint speed. Like, I mean, that's elite speed. Like 22 miles an hour is elite.
Danny's running.
Just because he's a white boy, don't mean he can't run, man. I see what you're doing over there.
Vanilla Vic.
That's what Vic calls him, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
No, that's what Saquon calls him.
Saquon called.
Oh,
him.
they announced it. They said it to Vic on air, like pregame show. They said Vanilla Vic, and he started laughing. He said he liked that.
Saquon
That's good.
calls him that.
Ron Mexico. for those that know.
Brian Daboll, he's done an unbelievable job.
Safe to say he's a good coach, right?
Same team.
Safe to say it, right? Like you watch who Josh Allen is today. Obviously, he was there, and then he goes over to this team and the same team, and literally like that 1 year. What's up? Safe to say he's a pretty good coach.
Coaching matters.
Who's better to you right now, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Come on.
I think Joe.
I think Joe too.
I don't like that question.
Why?
Because here's the deal.
Because I feel like I'm biased when I answer it, and I'm not. Like I'm just telling you. Like I hate you. I hate that question.
I hate you.
No. I hate that question, and I hate the Tom Brady comparison because it feels so premature.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm watching a younger version of him. There is not when I watch him play, dude. He just gets the job done. It don't look like the ball's coming out with a ton of zip. It don't look like, but he's putting it where it needs to go every time, and it's on the money.
And he just doesn't make the killer mistakes. And if he does make a mistake, he always comes back the next
tackle.
Yeah, when he comes back the next possession, he does them all. The left tackle, or I don't know if it was the left or right tackle for the Chiefs, had a tweet, and it was about the offensive line for Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati spent all this money on their offensive line to protect Joe. Earlier in the season, they struggled protecting him. He struggled. They got better as the season. I think the stat was the last 5 games or 4 games he's been sacked 9 times total, which is great. That's awesome, right? Now going into the playoffs, they only have 2 of those 5 guys healthy. That is the issue, right? So you could see in the game against Baltimore. Now it's Baltimore. It's the 3rd time they've played them. They played them back-to-back weeks. Baltimore always plays them tough. They've done it all year. It's always been sloppy games. Joe's figured out a way how to get by them, but they haven't been pretty. Now, you watched the game, you saw a lot of pressure. You saw Joe kind of, get put in some bad situations. But what the offensive tackle was talking about for Kansas City is Joe's so good that he makes up for all the mistakes that the offensive line has. He gets the ball out so quick, he understands where he's trying to go with it. And it's a credit to Joe on how good he makes the team. But it's also a worry if you're a Bengals fan. It's like, oh, can we sustain this? We've seen this before. Last year, Joe got us all the way to the Super Bowl with a shitty offensive line. Can he do it again? And can he do it again healthy? I don't know. I hope so. But to your point, I think that Joe, with all of those issues, I think that's what makes Joe as good as he is.
I think Joe's just a master at playing within himself always. And that's a very funny thing to say because when you think about Josh Allen and all the potential and talent he has, of course it's not easy to play within yourself, right? So it's kind of like a catch-22 for him. I think Joe knows exactly who he is, and he don't try to stray from it day in and day out.
Right.
You get that.
I agree.
It's unbelievable.
I think Josh Allen's the most talented quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow is better than him, though. I think if you're going to go, I guess you have to put Mahomes up at the top. And Josh Allen has it up here, too. Don't get me wrong. I just think that, to your point, he's so talented, and he's got so much ability that sometimes that ability allows him to take chances that no other quarterback would even think about taking, but he does it because he's done it before, and sometimes that gets him in trouble. Same thing with Mahomes, right? Mahomes has done some of that stuff. If you had to rank the quarterbacks right now, I would say Mahomes, the young quarterbacks. Actually, all quarterbacks.
All of them.
All quarterbacks. I would go Mahomes, Burrow,
Drew
Allen.
Brees.
Because, listen, at the end of the day, Josh Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's been to one. That's it, right? Like, if you're going to compare the young guys, Joe did it with a team that isn't as skill position players are as talented as anybody. But in the trenches, on the up front, in the offensive line, they're not as talented as Buffalo. And Joe Burrow's done that and got him to a Super Bowl. I think he's the number 2 quarterback in the league.
And I'll say this too: when you keep talking about when you keep bringing up the Tom Brady Joe Burrow conversation, I don't feel like you're watching Tom Brady in year 3 when you watch Joe Burrow. I feel like you're watching Tom Brady like towards the middle of Tom Brady's career when you watch Joe in year 3 right now. Like that's how good Joe is to me. You know what I mean? Like when Tom came in, it was super defensive football and basically game manage us to a win. Joe's not doing that. Joe's literally he's winning games.
Yeah,
you know?
No doubt. I mean, I think Joe is the real deal.
And I'll say this too, which is because I don't think people understand something like this when you think about someone like Joe is sometimes the cards are right for you too, right? Like couldn't get on the field at Ohio State, decides to come here. You think he knew that he had Justin Jefferson? You think he knew that he had a Jamar Chase and he'd be who he is? You think he knew that he had a Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Thad Moss and all these guys, and it worked out perfect, right?
Terrence Marshall?
And then he gets Terrence Marshall on the team, and then he gets to the league, and he makes sure he says, hey, y'all, bring Jamar here. But he also had a T. Higgins already in place there. He brings Jamar there. He has a Tyler Boyd who they drafted who could easily be somebody's number 2, maybe sneakily somebody's number 1 right now as the 3. A Joe Mixon in the backfield, a P. Ryan behind him. Like sometimes those situations just fall in.
Yeah.
But Joe is obviously the catalyst to it all. I'll give it that.
The one thing I will say about the Cincinnati Bengals, it's the Joe show. I don't think he and Zach Taylor are jiving right now at all because it looks a lot like Joe when he was at LSU. Where did you hear how many times he killed the play during the game? You could hear him going like can, like he killed and called the entire offense himself.
That doesn't mean anything.
I think it does a little bit.
No, that means that there's a very high
I know there's
chance.
2 built-in plays.
Okay, so then if we kill, we're kill in the first one. That means we're going to the second one.
I understand that, but I feel like it's Joe doing a lot of.
No, that's how the reads.
Bro, watch it. It's crazy because he's already said it.
I'm not saying he doesn't do it at all, but I think you're way overshooting.
I think Zach Taylor fell into a gold mine.
Well, no doubt. Okay,
He's fired if it's not Joe Burrow.
Just because it's any coach that was in that situation.
You said the same thing about Sean Payton right now.
Any coach in that situation.
Okay, put Joe Burrow on the Chargers. You think they're losing in the first round?
No, but
exactly.
What do you think? He was going to kill to run the ball the whole second half? No.
Any coach in that situation, they had the number 1 overall pick in the draft for a reason. The team was not very good.
No shit.
Right? So any team that was going to fall into that situation was going to fall into a gold mine. No coach is successful without a good quarterback, right? Now, it's not a discredit to the coach and how good he is. He may be a very talented head coach. He just didn't have the guys running the show for him that he needed. Now he has a guy who now he can do the other things and can actually put on the field what he's coaching him. I'm not saying Zach Taylor's the best coach in the league, but I don't think that him and Joe are at odds.
When you watch that offense play, if you watched them all year, and I'm not saying that you haven't, we're not going to sit here and act like they week in and week out they draw up a game plan and all Joe is just doing is kill and everything and just running his own game. I think you're going a little far with that.
Joe is on camera saying that my headset doesn't work whenever it did. He went full Aaron Rodgers where he's
what
like,
does that have to do with the coaching?
I want to call my own game.
That doesn't mean he's at odds with the head coach.
No, I don't think he's okay. At odds is a strong way to put it, but I'm saying I think that he would prefer somebody else in his offense.
See, I don't know.
I think that's a little far.
I mean, maybe not, but like I don't think that he's
Zach
shown
Taylor's
that.
got it, coach. That's all I'm saying. Joe Burrow is doing exactly what he did at LSU, where he's putting everything on his plate.
But that's what every top quarterback does that.
So then
every top
are you
quarterback
discrediting Brady too now?
Yeah, I think Brady's having to do it right now. But when he had Bruce,
No, not that Brady. The Brady that was at LSU. Are you discrediting him now too?
Joe Brady.
Joe.
No, I think that was.
So then what are you talking about? You just said Joe did all of this at LSU, so that means Joe Brady. Well, he didn't do shit.
But 2018 still exists. That before Joe Brady got there.
What exists? What about 2018 exists?
That you had a quarterback that kind of figured it out on his own, and then he got an offensive scheme where they all kind of put their heads together. But it still feels like Joe.
Isn't that what they're doing right now?
No.
Yeah, what are you talking about? What?
Does it not feel like?
I'm just letting him dig his own grave right here. Like, just please keep talking right now.
Okay, let me go. Does it not feel like Zach Taylor? If they had any other quarterback, do you think that they're this good? Do you think that Zach Taylor
you can't
is?
say that. We just said Joe Burrow's the second best quarterback in all of the NFL. If Joe Burrow was on any of the other 32 teams in the NFL, they would be instant contenders. Instant, because of how good he is. Has nothing to do with the coach. Has everything to do with Joe Burrow. I understand that. But it doesn't mean that Zach Taylor's not good. It just means that he got a generational quarterback.
So how much do you put on his plate? It feels like a lot.
If you have a guy like that, you can put as much as you want on his plate because he can handle it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. If you get a generational quarterback, you don't even need to coach him.
I guess my better point is if you put him on like the Kansas City Chiefs, like that's the perfect marriage, right? Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Andy Reid revived Michael Vick's career. It's a perfect marriage for like he made Donovan McNabb go to 5 straight NFC championships or 3 straight NFC championships.
Couldn't win it.
It couldn't win it. But I'm saying the offense has always traveled with Andy Reid. I'm talking about player over system in terms of what's going on with I don't think Zach Taylor has some sort of scheme in
Well,
which...
here's the deal. We don't know. Because Andy Reid has a longer track record. Andy Reid was in Philly. He did his deal in there. He went to Kansas City. He won with Alex Smith at Kansas City. Now, Alex Smith was still good, but he's
Give
still...
Zach Taylor Alex Smith.
Let me just explain
But here's my point. You don't know because you haven't seen it. You can compare him to Andy Reid is because you've seen him do it over and over and over through the stretch of his career. Zach Taylor is still young, and he may not ever have to do it because he has. Listen,
Now,
Bill
wait.
Belichick got fired before he got Tom.
Just wait. Let me just, because I want you to understand what you're saying and what is kind of actually going on in these situations. You just referenced when Joe said his earpiece went out in his helmet and he did the whole 2-minute drill by himself. You know who else? You know who else used to also do a lot of the whole 2-minute drill by himself? It is like the latter part of his career. Ben Roethlisberger, right? How many kill is not part of a 2-minute drill?
I understand that. I know.
So my point is when we go kill, do you think that coach on the sideline or in the booth is like, oh my God, I don't know what he's running. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? No, that's game planned.
That's part. Yeah.
Kill. I'm gonna tell you now what to run. That's game planned. That means that's coming from the coach too as well. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So my point is when you reference
Where's Ron Perrilloux?
when you reference the 2-minute, that's not the same thing as kill. Hey, run that second play that we talked about. Hey, run this. That's completely different. That's game plan, bro. That's not just Joe. I respect the shit out of what Joe does, but you can't go that far now. That's a little much.
I'm on that hill.
That's a little much.
Lloyd likes to be on the hill of a conspiracy type of thing.
That's a little much.
I just don't.
There's
far.
zero.
Now, and
all
I'm
thought,
with
all
you as
feeling,
well.
no fact.
And I'm with you as well in the sense of, do I think that Zach Taylor is super all-world? Do I think that he is Sean Payton? No, not necessarily.
Oh, could you imagine?
Not necessarily. But is he? I mean, is he decent? Here's a question. If you throw...
Deshaun Watson.
No, I'm not even going to go that good. If you throw Kirk Cousins on that Cincinnati team, where are they? What do you think they are? Do you think they're over 500 or under 500?
I was about to say you can't do it anymore. I was going to say 8 and 8,
yeah,
but 8 and 9.
9 and 8 maybe.
Yeah.
8 and 9.
What was Sean Payton his last couple of years in New Orleans?
9 and 8 with no quarterback.
Okay.
That's coaching.
But wait, no. I mean, yeah, that's coaching. But my point is literally just that. Like, Kurt's I don't know, like 12th-ish, mid-range type of quarterback. Probably at his best, maybe number 10 in the league. At like best year ever,
yeah.
Right? Like,
if he's a free agent, you're
Like
a fan
this
of
year,
the Saints, you don't want him.
this year with the numbers he put up this year, he was probably the 10th best quarterback in the league this
Right.
year. Because he
I
actually
think this
had
is
a
one of
pretty
his like best.
Yeah, he had a
years.
good year.
This is
Yeah,
one of his best years.
Well, we got a guy from, was it Kevin O'Connell? Is that the head coach?
Yeah.
That he comes from the Sean McVay tree, and you heard Justin Jefferson. It's an actual quote where he's like, "No wonder Cooper Kupp was open all the time. This offense fucking is like rules.
Yeah.
Like he understands how to get people open.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a Kirk Cousins who is not Joe Burrow, right?
No.
I think we can all agree on that. But I feel like I guess my greater point was Joe's doing a lot of this on his own. It feels like. Because the offensive line is trash. Because they
I don't think he's doing a lot of it on his own. I think he's just very, 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 studious,
savvy.
and I think he's very, very, very good on his feet. He makes very, very, very quick decisions, which doesn't mean
I could coach that man.
No. My point is, it doesn't mean you're doing it on your own. It just means you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I know. It means I know. I see what I see pre-snap. All right, well, I'm going to get you out of that real quick. All right, I catch the ball. I can go through and process these reads that quick. That doesn't mean you're doing it on your own. That just means you were coached up on how to do it and you make the decisions quick.
He's sneaky athletic.
Yeah, he is. 100%.
I mean, he worked on his speed in the offseason. They say he runs a 4.6 40 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's
Appendicitis.
sneaky athletic.
Did y'all watch that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, they were about 3 inches away from catching that ball in the end zone.
No, it should have
Oh,
been.
my God, yeah.
The dude kind of gave up
If
on
he
it.
was
If
actually
he was
I'm
like
gonna wait for
literally
this
like,
ball,
I think this is gonna come. Like, if he would have played it like, I
Yeah.
think the ball's gonna come down,
Yeah.
he would have caught it. He
would've
like
caught
kind
it.
of gave up on it. Was like, and he like alligator armed it too,
I thought he was gonna. I was watching like, oh my god, he's gonna catch this.
which would have been a tie game.
Would've been a tie
You know what's
game.
funny? I did.
They would
say
have gone
this-
for 2. I bet.
I did say this when the game
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
When they tried to score and it was a 98-yard touchdown, it happened. I go, that's a ball game. There's no chance they're scoring 2 touchdowns again. Like the game's
Right.
over.
Well,
they're
and
not
here's
going to drive
I
down
guess
the score.
apparently
and score
there's
again.
chips in the ball. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's news to me.
There's chips in the ball, right? That can determine how far you are from the goal line or the first.
Ball's vaccinated?
They said that it was. They said that it was like 3/4 of a yard away.
No, it wasn't. It was far.
That's what I mean. Like it was like 3 feet away.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
From the like, it wasn't even close to the end.
Hey, and look, I'll just go to this too. Like this is little stuff. I heard someone talk about it, and I kind of saw it when it happened. But I'm surprised it wasn't talked about more. But to me, like this is little stuff where guys like Joe, and then out of no disrespect to him, he obviously played a great game and he's been a backup all year, so that's a very tough situation to be in. But then Tyler Huntley comes in, they run that play, and they got everyone following up behind him and pushing him in. That means you shouldn't be trying to go over the top.
Right.
That's the one you should be trying to go underneath with.
You only go over the top if you're right on the edge.
Well, it makes no sense for me to go over the top if we got people pushing from behind. What are they pushing?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like, we jammed all these people in here. We got people pushing from behind, but we also have the defense in here. Somebody like Joe goes in here, stays here, keeps it tight, scores. He comes in here, gets punched out, ball game.
Hey, let's not sleep on Mark Andrews, bro. That guy can run.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, did you not? That was Mark Andrews chasing him down.
Were they teammates in college?
I know.
Huh?
Was him and Hubbard teammates in college?
No. Mark Andrews went to
I thought he was an Ohio State guy, too.
no
OU.
He went to
Oklahoma. Yeah,
he went to Oklahoma.
You are right. Yep.
He was teammates with Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
He chased that motherfucker down.
Well, I mean, he was chasing down the DN.
No, I know, but like, not only did he chase him down, like he could have, if they were running side by side, he would just pass them on up. Like he was. The guy had what a 5-10 yard start on him.
I was looking for a DB to pitch it back to. It was like
that guy was taking the whole.
He did. He wanted all.
It was all big boys. It was all big boys running down there.
Yeah,
I know what I'm saying. They were obviously at goal line, but it reminded me of. Do you remember Ed Reed against Boston College, where he just rips it from the defensive line? It's like, you can't. This is my turn.
Yeah.
And then he takes it and scores. I was looking for a DB to be like, bro, give me the ball, because Mark Andrews, like you said, was hunting because he had a 15-yard head start. And Mark Andrews is like, put a foot in the ground. I got to go get him. And shout out to, was it Hubbard? To be able to kind of shake him off and be able to score.
Well, he got blocked in the back. What in the back?
They didn't really call it. Yeah,
it was in the side, but kind of looked like it was a little black.
If that
in
play
the
didn't
back.
happen, the Bengals might lose. They should.
Oh, no doubt.
Tyler
I don't
Huntley,
think they would have lost. But I feel like they would have. I feel like some Joe magic would have happened. But what I really did feel was when that was returned and now it's 24-17 the other way, when it should have been 24-17 the other way, I was like, this game's over. There's no way the Baltimore Ravens are driving down.
That's a
14-point
swing.
No chance it's happening.
I also took Bengals -8.5. I didn't win that. I was hoping I would.
You should have bought some points. Like your boy.
Oh, God.
Big hindsight guy, dude.
I'm just saying, that's a bad number. 8.5.
You would have bought it down to 6.5?
That's what I did.
And what was the odds?
Not
like
good.
-188.
Okay. I'm not doing that.
Well, you have an L and I have a dub.
You're right. But
we live to fight another day.
Over the long, we already talked about this. And our betting people that we know that are way smarter than betting than us said over the long term, if you keep doing that, buying points is you're not going to win as much money.
You're
not going to win.
chasing down 2K?
Yes.
Since when?
I told you I've been getting hot, and then my futures kick.
Did you do it $5 at a time? Did you put your
that I
fucking
didn't do.
bootstraps on and go to work every day?
I mean, that just shows you that you should bet more.
I know, it's terrifying.
I mean, you're at a point now where you should. You got some money in there.
I know, and I did it for the first time, and I fucking lost. Because the Buffalo Bills need to stop playing with their food and fucking win.
They did win.
No, but they should
not how
have
you
buried
wanted
them.
You should have bought more points.
I'd have been 6.5.
He did buy. He bought them all the way down.
I did. I bought
14.
all the points.
He bought them down 7 points.
Oh my God! Did you really?
Yeah,
that's his move, dude. That's his move.
Goodness.
Everything
else.
else.
You might as well just stay off that bet. You bought them down 7.
Everything else. That's good. That should have happened.
All right.
I don't know if Josh Allen's good.
What?
He makes me nervous.
No, he's very good.
I know. Well, that's what is also nerve-wracking about him, because he just slings that thing.
Hey, that one play they had, that
pick he threw.
No, that second, third quarter deep ball to Stephon Diggs.
That didn't count?
No, it counted, but it wasn't a touchdown.
You're talking about the touchdown in the end zone.
No, it wasn't a touchdown. It was just like a 50-yard gain. It was literally on like a zero blitz. Like, this ball should never be able to be thrown that far.
Right.
One, you don't have the time. Two, you never have the chance to step into it.
Right.
Like, it's back foot.
Let it eat.
And he still drops it on the money to a guy just running.
dude,
I'm like, bro, that's
It was this
crazy.
high off the ground.
No, he had to throw it.
You're
He had to drop it in
talking
the
about the
bucket.
deep ball.
Yeah.
You're talking about the one-handed catch in the end zone.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
talking
no,
about two
I'm
different
talking
balls.
about the deep ball. It was like a
That's-
50-yard gain down the sideline.
That's Josh Allen. He's just
I'm like,
slinging
what,
that thing.
What is that?
All right, so we have the Bucks and the Cowboys tonight in Tampa, right? This is gonna be the last game of the first weekend of the season, which they kind of got screwed a little bit though, right? Like the winner has to play.
They get a short week.
Yeah, right. They're playing the Niners.
Yeah, and they got to travel.
The Niners have to travel, and the Niners have 2 extra days of rest over whoever wins this game.
Got a Niners future.
So
out there.
kind of, yeah. I mean, they're looking good. Brock Purdy's a dog, dude. He's a guy. But with all that,
Mr. Irrelevant.
I know, and he's not too relevant right now. But you have these teams playing before they end the first round of the playoffs. Who do you like? I know you have futures on everybody, but who do you like? Who do y'all like to win it, or who do you like to be in the Super Bowl?
I have Chiefs, Bengals, Niners futures. That's it.
Okay, so who do you like to be in the Super Bowl?
I like. This is weird. I'm saying this. This is where I kind of get in my own head. I like Niners, Chiefs, and the only reason I like it is because I'm like, man, will Joe beat Pat 4 times in a row? Like, could that happen? And I think to myself, like, just can't happen. Even if they both throw for 500 yards, like, there's no way that's gonna happen, right? Like, that's the only way. That is the only reason.
In Kansas City again.
In Kansas City again. Like, can Joe do that? Like, I can't.
But you think the Bengals are gonna get to the AFC Championship game?
I think.
You think the Bengals beat the Bills?
Do they play? They don't play the Bills this week, right? This coming week, right?
Yeah, right.
Are they in the divisional round?
Yeah, because then you play a divisional round, then you have to go and play
The championship.
So
I don't know if they're on the same side of it though.
It is.
Well, they flipped.
Do y'all want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Jaguars, Chiefs.
So it is
Saturday, January 21st. Giants, Eagles. Eagles are gonna beat the brakes off.
I don't agree with that.
Me
actually.
either. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, because dude, Dayball's a good coach.
I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to win, but I don't think they're going to beat the
And
Bengals.
Bengals, Bills,
It is Bengals.
and then
Bills.
TBD for the Niners. Whoever wins tonight.
Right.
That's another one too for me when it
Right.
comes to Bengals. It's like, God, you feel like you got one team of destiny. Then he would, if he did that, then he'd have to go beat another guy 4 times in a row. I'm like, God,
Crazy.
that's hard to
You're
do.
going to go 2 Super Bowls in a row, like.
Two Super Bowls in a
so
row.
you have
as the loser the year before, which like never happens. You never like go right back.
Right. So you have the Chiefs
Unless you're
and the Niners
Bills
in the Super Bowl. Chiefs Niners.
I got Chiefs, Niners.
What about you?
I love that pick. I think it's the Chiefs. I don't think it's a. From what I saw from the Bengals last night, it doesn't feel like that's their year. They could possibly bottle it up, but it doesn't look like they have the same amount. And like Joe Burrow said, they asked him like, "What's the window?" He goes, "As long as I'm alive."
No doubt.
Yeah,
the window's
I
not
get that.
closed.
I'm not going to ever
You just
doubt
have to.
Joe
You
Burrow.
have to. The offensive line has to be healthy. It's not
But
healthy.
it just didn't. It didn't look the way that. The way that the Chiefs are playing is unbelievable. They're doing ring around the rosy and scoring.
They're doing whatever they
All right.
They're doing whatever they want.
So
literally.
And
I'm
the
gonna
Niners
go-
look so good with Christian McCaffrey on that squad.
Right.
Yeah.
the
They
Niners
they got playmakers literally at every spot.
I think-
Debo looked like he was playing against a JV squad.
Every spot.
I think the Niners are in the NFC for sure, right? I think, and obviously, like the Giants are playing really well. Obviously, the Eagles are very good, but I just don't think that there's a defense as good as San Francisco's, and I don't think that there's an offense that is as efficient as San Francisco's, right? They have
And
4
nobody's
running
talking
backs that
about
are,
San Francisco's defense.
and they're unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Fred Warner's a missile.
D'Amico Ryan's going to be a head coach somewhere.
Can we just talk
Has
about
to.
this really
Has
quick?
to be.
Can we just talk about this? How is Kyle Shanahan so good at drawing up plays?
Dude, it's unbelievable.
No.
Man, he draws up plays sometimes, and you watch. I'm like, bro, how is the hole this big for a running back? I've never seen this before. Like, dudes
Unbelievable.
are untouched for 50 yards, and you're like, how? Then
You don't
anybody
remember-
could have ran through this hole.
You don't remember watching his daddy coach?
Man, but it's still unbelievable. I'm like, bro, this don't make any sense. He got
Yeah, I
Mr.
mean, he's-
Irrelevant throwing for 300 and 3 tutties.
He's had 3 quarterbacks play this year. First one, it was a little struggle early on. They won game, but then he got hurt. And yeah, Jimmy G, who nobody wanted, thought
What
they
a
weren't
waste
good.
of a pick.
Jimmy G was probably going to be.
They're on 11 straight right now.
Yeah, Jimmy G was like playing at a, I don't want to say Pro Bowl level, but he was doing really well.
The machine was rolling.
And then Purdy, obviously.
And it ain't stopped
I
since
mean,
he got
And
yeah.
Purdy is playing out of his gourd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's thrown off platform. He's
Yeah.
going sidearm.
He's
just
yelling at
himself.
receivers when they're in the wrong spot. Like,
Yeah, he's got
he's been running the team for the last 5 years.
he's got it cooking. I like the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Man,
It's a
I
big
wanted to pick the Bengals, and then I watched them yesterday, and then I see their line down,
It wasn't clicking.
and I just can't pick them. I want them to. Like, listen, if they went to the
like
Super
the fan of
Bowl,
me would like to see him go. I just
if they went to the Super Bowl
I
and
feel
Joe
like that
Burrow's
mountain's
there
so
again, awesome. But the next time Joe gets to the Super Bowl, I want him to win it, and I don't think that they're equipped to win it right now with the team that they have.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are going. I think the rematch.
I would love to see the Bills win.
I think the
ain't gonna lie,
rematch
I
of
really
the
would.
Bills and the Chiefs is going to be epic, and I think the Bills are going to win. I really do.
After what happened to, it's kind of hard to not be somewhat of a Bills fan this
Yeah.
year. Like I'd like to see him do it.
So I think I have the Bills. I have the Bills and 49ers in the final.
Have you
in the
looked at
Super
the
Bowl.
spread for Bills, Bengals?
What is it?
I'm asking you.
No, I've not looked at
Guess
it.
it. Guess
It's in Buffalo. Offensive line. I would say the Bills are favored by 4.5.
5. Pretty good, Mikey.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
There we go.
And we got Giants, Eagles, obviously coming up. Do you any feel for that one? I mean, if you're on a heater,
Yeah, Eagles favored by 3.5.
7.5.
I was literally about to say 6 before you even.
They still don't get.
So don't bet that-
they
don't
still
bet that-
like 'em.
don't bet that one.
I'm not.
And then Jaguars, Chiefs.
Chiefs are probably favored by what, 10?
I think the Eagles cover that too. I really do. I think they win and cover that. But I think it's not. What is it? 6.5? You said? Or
7.5.
7.5. But I think it's a
You can
game
get it at
that
6.5
that
if
like
you want.
looks like a good game the whole time though.
What's the other one?
Jaguars, Chiefs.
Yeah, I said 10.
8.5.
Okay, I figured
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking it right now.
the Chiefs. Yeah, I would take the Chiefs too. They're playing on the road. They're
Good
playing
for
in
Doug,
Kansas City.
though.
Great for them. I mean, they've people got mad at him when he overspent for Christian Kirk. What?
Nothing. I mean,
I'm
I
confused.
wasn't gonna say Black Doug.
no, nothing.
Did I say something stupid?
No, it's just my call.
Oh,
You guys are
My
just
bad.
literally running through my call.
my bad. It's okay. Everybody talked about how he spent too much money on Christian Kirk, right? Oh, he overpaid for him.
Oh, you didn't think
No.
he did?
Kirk, Ingram, and is this A. Jones or the other one?
Yeah,
Who is it?
but so they overpaid. They had to overpay. You think any of these free agents are going to go to Jacksonville after the debacle that Urban Meyer was last year? No shot. So
He's kicking kickers.
Doug Peterson said, okay, I have to get some guys around my number one pick. I'm going to go and overpay these guys, and they were in the right space at the right time. They came there, and everybody's played great. And obviously Trevor Lawrence is the real deal, and he's played really well this year. And, Travis Etienne became the guy, and Doug Peterson's a really good coach. I mean, obviously the Eagles are in a good spot, but I can't believe they got rid of him. That was a whole
He
Nick
was the
Foles
scapegoat
deal.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the scapegoat there.
He has a statue.
They got rid of him.
Louisiana, stand up. Calvary.
Calvary, baby. Shreveport.
That's crazy.
Who, Doug?
Yeah.
Doug
Really?
was a high school head coach to beating Tom Brady with Nick Foles. in
And then
the
he went to,
Super
where'd he go?
Bowl.
Boise? No. Where'd Doug Peterson go? That was Chris Peterson was at Boise.
Yeah, it was Chris
That was
Peterson.
under Scott Woodward.
Yeah. Well, no, UW. When he went to UW, yeah.
Doug Peterson coaching tree.
No. Coaching.
Calvary to the Eagles.
That's
quality
oh,
control.
That's right. He was on the Eagles for a
Chiefs
while.
offensive coordinator, Eagles head coach, Super Bowl, and now he's at the Jags.
Dougie Fresh
That's
doing it,
an
man.
unbelievable trajectory.
That is. But playoffs have been fun. It's been great. We're talking about it a lot because we're betting it, and there's really not much to talk about in the LSU world. So if you watched our show and you like to watch our show, I'm glad. Continue to watch it. We're not just an LSU show. We lean towards the LSU side a lot, but we're not just an LSU show. We're an everything show. But on the LSU topic, before Joe Schwartz comes in studio to talk about the women's basketball team and the historic start that they're having, we're going to mention LSU baseball team.
Ooh.
Because baseball is starting to get a little closer. Basketball is not very good.
So
oh my god,
people are asking about baseball. Oh, how's the baseball team? Every time I walk around, I get these questions. How's the baseball team going to be this year? How's the baseball team going to be this year? And we've talked about how good they're going to be, how talented they are, all the guys they've brought in. That's all, great, right? You have to go out there. End of the day, you have to go out there and actually win. They came out with the top 150, perfect game count of the top 150 juniors this year. Out of those top 150, LSU's got 7. 3 of them are in the top 20. And 2 of them outside of the top 20 have a chance to be drafted higher than – have a chance to be drafted in the first round, really. Number 1, obviously, is Dylan Cruz. Duh. Right? Number 8 is Paul Skeens. Number 16 is Trey Morgan. Number 61 is Christian Little, who's a transfer from Vandy, who had surgery to remove a bone chip. It was kind of like floating in his arm, and they needed to get out of it. He pitched a little bit in the fall, was touching 93, never really threw over it, but he's recovering from injury. Started throwing now in the spring. He was touching 97, 98 the other day. I think he's going to be just fine. He's rated 61st. Ty Floyd, who was ranked 88th out of juniors, I believe Ty Floyd is going to make the biggest jump out of this whole group. I think Ty Floyd ends up being a first rounder when it's all said and done.
Out of that group, right?
Out of this group of the 150. Yeah.
Because there's another one we think is going to make probably a bigger jump.
Who?
He's not in that group, though. That's what I'm saying. He's not a junior. He's eligible.
Talking about,
He's eligible, but he's not a junior.
Yeah. And then Blake Money is 119th out of 150, which I think a lot of people have forgotten about Blake Money. He had some struggles last year. I think they're going to find a role for him. I don't think it's going to be a starting role. I think he's going to come out the bullpen with the ability to start. He's going to throw extended innings. And then the last guy, 128th out of 150, is Jordan Thompson. Now, if Jordan can, if he's healthy going into the year, which he is, he played better.
I think you'll see a lot better ball player.
I agree.
A lot better Jordan Thompson than what met the eye last year.
He's going to play.
If he's healthy,
he's going to play really good defense this year. I don't think you have to worry about that. I think that if he can take it to the next, he was hurt. He had a banged up knee for the first month and a half last year, and he just couldn't. It had the mobility to get down and do stuff. And so, I mean, that's in the back of your head always. And
which no one knew about.
Right.
They didn't say anything about it.
Right. They didn't realize it was that much of an issue. And then the last month, he played great defensively. Now, if he can take that next step offensively, if he can take that next step of saying, hey, I'm driving the ball in the gaps, I'm consistent with the bat.
Sneakier than you
no
thought
doubt.
Last year, too.
No doubt, but it was streaky, right?
Yeah.
If he can show you that he is consistent, he has a chance to be a second, third rounder in the draft, right? Which is, I would think, would outplay the 128th in the junior because you still have high school guys and you still have draft eligible sophomores and all that kind of stuff. So these are just juniors. I think that out of this list, I think Dylan Cruz is a first rounder. I think Paul Skeens is a first rounder. I think if Trey Morgan shows he can hit for double-digit homers, he has a chance to sneak into at least a supplemental round.
And if he doesn't get to double-digit homers, if that
you're talking about Black Rizzo?
If that doubles number climbs, then I still think he's got
no
a chance.
doubt. He's got to show some juice.
He's got to show some juice.
And I think he is. I think he's made some adjustments in his swing and his mindset.
Yeah.
I was about to say, and the way he's approached the game and him understanding what he I don't want to say what he did wrong, but the way that he's adjusting his approach is the perfect remedy for what he was doing wrong. He understands how his approach to the plate wasn't the best way for him to be probably a first round, second round pick. Right?
So, I agree. Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens guaranteed first rounders. All right, I think that's you can just chalk it up. Dylan Cruz one. I would think number 1 overall pick. If not number 1, number 2, but I would imagine number 1. Paul Skeens probably going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, especially if he stays healthy. And I believe, like I said, if Trey Morgan I believe Ty Floyd's a first rounder. I believe that you're going to see what Wes Johnson, the different, towards the end of last year, Ty Floyd started pitching really well. I think you're going to see the difference in his third year compared to what happened towards the end of last year. Obviously, the end of last year is going to give him some confidence going into this year. But I think that Wes Johnson coming in has helped him take that next step. And I think you're going to be like, damn, who is this guy? I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the Friday night guy. I think they're going to pitch Paul Skeens Friday night so that he can hit over the weekend and not have to worry about that. I think that's probably how they're going to do it. But
you have 3 or 4 aces in your rotation at this point. So it's going to be.
When did those odds come out?
I don't know. Are they not out yet?
And they won't let you bet on women's college basketball either. It's just not on Caesars. They just won't let you do it. Let me bet on. I'm just trying to pick them to win the national championship. That's all I'm trying to do is put a future on Kim Mulkey and LSU basketball.
They're not gonna let you do that. When do they play South Carolina?
February, and it's at South Carolina. This is the game of the year. They're gonna be. I think they're.
It's gonna be number 1 versus number 2 at that point.
At that point, yeah.
I think it's February. Hold on. Here we go. February 12th.
February 12th.
They're going to be undefeated going.
That's right before.
Game.
That's right before Valentine's Day.
February.
Is 14th Valentine's Day?
16th?
No. February 14th.
When's Valentine's Day?
When's Valentine's Day? February 14th?
Yeah, 14th.
February 14th. That's going to be a Valentine's game. All right. We're going to take a.
Valentine?
Of course.
Hell yes.
I'm single.
Look at this. Look, he's got the pink shoes and everything. We're going to take a little 30-second break. Get Joe situated, and we're going to talk all about women's basketball. Since we were just talking about the Valentine's Day game against South Carolina, not really Valentine's Day, almost Valentine's Day.
It's all love between old Don and.
Yeah, I don't think it's all love, but we'll talk about it. All right, you're watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back to you in 30 seconds. Today's show is brought to you by Dos Equis. Here in Louisiana, we like to have a great time. If you're looking to be the life of the tailgate, check out Dos Equis mini kegs. Hold 16 beers, easy to tap, easy to pour, easy to chill. Check it out. Become a life of the party. You're welcome. Our What's for Lunch segment is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Maybe the best burger in town. If you're not looking for lunch, you're looking for dinner, go check out Doe's Eat Place. They have unbelievable choice of meats. They have unbelievable tamales. They have a great atmosphere, great vibes. If you're looking for a homey Louisiana type of atmosphere, but you're looking for high quality food, Doe's Eat Place is your spot. Go in the back bar, sit at the bar, have a couple drinks, watch some games, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the vibes. Check out Doe's Eat Place, the best place in Baton Rouge to get your meats. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. That was enthusiastic. I appreciate that. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We are proud to have Joe Schwartz, Assistant Director of Basketball Operations. I'm willing to bet that there's not a guy or girl around the basketball program outside of Kim Mulkey that's more knowledgeable about LSU women's basketball than this guy right here, Joe Schwartz. So, Joe, thanks for coming in the studio, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping the workout early. If you stopped the workout early, I'm glad you were able to get your workout in before you came in.
It was chest day today, so.
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
You can always in that one. We don't skip leg day though.
I would say you can always skip. You can always make leg day.
I would agree. That's where I would go.
All right. Women's basketball is 18-0. Angel Reese has 18 double-doubles. Y'all just blew the doors off of Auburn at home by 30 points. Simone Augustus has her statue. What's the vibe like right now? Because it seems like everybody outside of LSU is finally starting to give LSU the flowers that they deserve. What's the vibe like inside the program? Obviously, Kim runs a tight ship. I'm sure she's got all the girls focused, but what are you feeling or what are you seeing over there?
I think the biggest thing right now, and the message that we've got to get across to our girls, because, the 18-0 is great, ranked number 3 in the country. We haven't arrived. And, we say that. People can throw that around, but in the grand scheme of things, all we've done is won 18 games. And we're thrilled. Whether we win by
How many have you lost?
0.
Okay.
But whether you win by 25 or win by single digits, wins are wins, and you're never going to take those for granted. But we've got to keep getting better, and that comes every day in practice. Practice needs to be better. We're still turning the ball over too much. It was nice to finally be down in single-digit turnovers against Auburn, because we had 25 against Kentucky, a couple games in the high teens. But we've just got to keep getting better, and we've got a tough game coming up Thursday, Arkansas, kind of a revenge game for them. We went up to their place to open conference, beat them by 20-plus, but they're a tough team, well-coached. And I think just staying focused is the main thing for the girls.
What's the challenges of doing that? You got a group that's fairly new with each other. You've reached new heights in a program that hasn't seen a team do something like this before. What are the challenges of keeping a group like this kind of hungry and kind of continuing to go and keep ascending the way they are?
It sounds very cliche, but follow the leader. I mean, it obviously takes an army to do what we're doing right now, and that army is our staff, it's our managers, it's our training staff, doctors, it's the fan support. But our general, Kim Mulkey, that's who we got to follow. And she's a Hall of Famer for a reason. She's won 3 national championships as a coach for a reason, a head coach, I should say. Yeah. So she's been there before. Coach Starkey has been to Final Fours. We've got very experienced staff members who have done things in men's and women's college basketball that these girls can only dream of. But if we follow the people at the top of our staff, that's how we're going to get to the promised land. Obviously, the girls have to produce on the court, but when Coach walks into the locker room every day, there's just a sense of urgency and a sense of energy that is unmatched. And our staff feeds off of that. She will challenge the staff, y'all can't have a bad day today. And that's every day. Because if our players see the staff slacking, then they think it's okay for them to take a day off. And kind of to talk about what goes on in our locker room, at Simone's statue unveiling the other day, Coach Starkey was talking about how good of a player Simone was on the court. There's no doubt. She was phenomenal. Great jump shot, great defender, knew the game well. But he said that was because of what she did every day in practice. She was the best practice player. She was the best teammate. And I think, sometimes you can get stagnant middle of the season, 18-0. Sometimes doesn't feel like we're playing the best competition. People want to just roast us for our non-conference schedule. Well, we're back to number 2 in the net.
I was about to say, aren't y'all at number 2 in the net?
Number
right
2
now?
in the net rankings and number 3 in the AP rankings. So take that with a grain of salt.
You have Arkansas Thursday, right? And then you have
Bama
on Monday. So you're going to go through about a gauntlet of a schedule. And then you have the big one. Obviously, everybody has this one circle with South Carolina on February 12th, right? So that's still a few weeks away. You still have what is happening? She's doing some producer stuff.
Something making noise.
Okay. But you have a little ways until you get to that point. But that's the game that everybody has circled. That's the game that I'm sure is going to be on ESPN. That's going to be prime time. Probably going to be number 1 versus number 2 if y'all keep playing the way you're playing right now. Obviously, that's far away. They want to stay focused on the task at hand. I understand that. Mm-hmm. What has been the one thing that you've noticed? You said obviously you got to stop turning the ball over. You got to play a little bit better. But what's been the one thing that you've noticed on the court that has made the girls so successful and made them, get to the point where they're at right now? Where, I don't know. Y'all probably expected it, but not really anybody else outside of basketball expected y'all to be.
Obviously the expectations coming into the season were very high, but we've got, I wouldn't say simple goals when we go into a game, but I'd say rebounding. That's been one of the big highlights. Our rebound margin per game, I think still top 5 in the country. Our field goal percentage defense, so what opposing teams are shooting, that's been phenomenal. We like to hold teams under 40% a game, and we've been doing that pretty much every game. And I think just playing hard because we've got, like you said, we have such a new group of players from a standpoint of they haven't played together for more than 18 games. A lot of these kids came from different programs, different systems, but to see their buy-in has been the coolest thing because you've got kids that played at SEC schools. You've got kids that played at JUCO, Big Ten, and they all come from different coaching backgrounds, different philosophies, but the fact that they've been able to buy in and really hone in on what Coach Mulkey wants us to do on a daily basis, I think it speaks volumes to them. We can't control every shot that we shoot, whether it goes in or not. We'd love to make every shot,
Right.
but we can't control that. We can control turning the ball over, because going back and watching film, a lot of our turnovers in the past couple of games have just been us not taking care of the ball. It's nothing that the other team's really doing special. Kentucky kind of got us in the fourth quarter with their press at their place. We had 10 turnovers in, I think, the last 8.5 minutes of the game. But I think when you really start to focus on the small details, holding teams under a certain amount of points per game, getting to the free throw line has been something that we've done a great job of. And it's something that we're going to continue to emphasize, because we may not have a great free throw shooting percentage, but we're getting to the line a lot. I mean, I think a few games ago we had like a plus 22 free throw margin, and if you're getting to the line that many times, that means you have opportunities to score that many more points than the other team.
I've noticed, obviously, the day and age is NIL and all this kind of stuff, right? You kind of notice players are allowed to show their personality a lot more than they have in the past, because now they can monetize themselves because of the NIL stuff, right? It seems like Coach Mulkey is the best. I don't want to say the best, but I mean, she's up there in the sense of allowing these players to be able to show who they actually are, show their personality and how they play on the field and the things that they do off the field, as long as it brings, good brand towards the university, right? Like, is it Floje, the rapper, right? Like she does the deal where she goes through like the after practice, and like she has like she raps her the way through the locker room. Like, there's not a lot of coaches, I believe, that would allow their players to do that, and it feels like Kim's kind of understands, the balance of, okay, this is basketball, but this is also life, and I gotta if I want these girls to buy in, I have to be able to mix both. She seems like she does a very good job of that.
She definitely does, but it also doesn't hurt that we've got the biggest brand in the country and the best fan base in the country. I mean, yesterday, and I keep going back to Simone's statue because it's something that I've never seen before. I've been to some pretty cool events. I saw Coach Mulkey get put into the Hall of Fame and Michael Jordan walk her up on stage. That was incredible. I've been to World Series. But to see Simone Augustus – because you hear about Simone, number 33, they went to all these Final Fours. But the number of people, not just women's basketball fans, not just Simone's family and friends, not just alumni. We had over 100 alumni from LSU women's basketball's past at the different receptions yesterday. But to see the city of Baton Rouge, and really probably people from all over the state of Louisiana, to come out and support Simone, I think that just speaks volumes to the type of fan base that we have. So when it comes to an NIL standpoint, these players, these athletes are phenomenal. They wouldn't be at LSU if they didn't have the talent. But their off-the-court abilities, whether that's their communication skills, whether that's their personality, whether that's their individual ability to network with people in the community, because we're not the ones going out to get the NIL deals for them. They're the ones that are meeting people. LSU puts these opportunities in front of them, and as a coach, you love to see it, because Kim Mulkey is one of the best networkers that I've ever met. I mean, I've never seen someone be able to walk into a room, whether it's a group of lawyers, whether it's a group of doctors, whether it's a group of businessmen going to speak at a Chamber of Commerce event. People engage and people listen, and their eyes are wide open when she walks in a room, and it feeds off to her players. So one thing we emphasize is, basketball is important. That's the forefront. We've got all these goals, but you've got to be a great student, because student comes before athlete. You've got to take care of your grades. And then with this NIL marketplace, so to speak, go get your money.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's money out there to be made and you're a college athlete, hell, if I was a college athlete, I would have.
You were?
I was. But if I were a college athlete now, I'd be figuring out any way to make money.
Speaking of college athlete,
it's not like you've been brainwashed.
I mean, you went to Texas.
In the best way possible.
Texas, they're in a little pickle there with their situation. They got going on.
No comment?
He can't even look straight on that one. That's a tough one. Oh.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
No. And it's not that. It's not that. They are in a little bit of a pickle.
They're still good.
They're very good.
They're still good, yeah.
And I will say, Rodney Terry, the current head coach, or the interim head coach right now, is doing a phenomenal job with them. to take over where he had to take over. I mean, I think they're 7-1.
Put out the fire he had to put out too. Yeah.
They're 7-1 or 8-1. They've had 2 big wins. And I know this isn't the UT talk show, and don't really want to toot that horn much.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah, they're
very
look, good.
LSU men's basketball. I don't think that people are gonna get mad about you talking about Texas because men's basketball right now they're in a little bit of a dark place.
Well, to that point, the SEC men's it's a gauntlet.
It has gotten
and
they're going through it right now.
But Coach McMahon, they're going to be fine.
They are. It's just tough. He needs some time, and that's what I'm glad you're saying that because that's going to segue into my next question. Like he needs some time to put his culture in place, allow his guys to develop. Right now, they have some guys that can score. Adam Miller's got to figure out how to be able to consistently score. You need 2 scorers, and you got to figure out how to be able to stop getting out rebounded by the bigger teams. Right, like. Alabama would shoot a 3, rebound it, offensive rebound, kick it back out, shoot another 3, offensive rebound, kick it back out. They would get 2 or 3, 4 chances, right? You got to figure that out.
It's pool basketball.
Yeah. well, that's the thing that really stuck out to me. Yeah, Bama was hot. They shot lights out the other night, but it was the amount of threes that they took. I think they took 41 threes in the first half. I mean, that's insane.
Yep.
14. They made 14, I think. But you got to rebound. And I'm not going to
talk listen.
much about it. But to my point, like, they're going to be fine. The difference between us and our staff is we inherited a great group.
Right.
Coach McMahon.
0 people.
0 people. Right?
Yeah.
So.
We were staring Parker Edwards down the barrel.
Yeah. I mean, he potentially could have been a starter.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yeah. He didn't come here to do
and
that.
Look,
Brandon and Parker and Adam, the 3 walk-ons basically were really all that was left.
And they have 2 really good 5-stars that are on the bench. Now they're young. They're freshmen. They got to figure out how to play in this league. Obviously, the SEC is a lot better of a basketball conference than it has been. Last 5 years, they've been good. But past that, they were kind of up and down. You had a couple good teams and then middle of the road pack after that. But you got to be able to play defense. You got to be able to figure out how to score because the talent is so good. Now, the whole reason I bring that up is Kim talks about, she said it recently in an interview, that it takes 2 to 3 years to build a sustainable program, right? Takes 2 or 3 classes to bring in to build that program. Obviously, she inherited a good group of girls. They made it to the second round.
Yep, lost in the second round.
Lost in the second round last year. First year after they only won single digits. I don't even 9 wins.
Year before.
They won before.
Alexis was hurt last year for the NCAA tournament, so that's second leading scorer out.
Right, and so
don't tell Dawn.
They get to the second round. This year they're undefeated, 3 in the country. It seems like they are one of the favorites to at least make it to the finals. Right, at least make it to the Final Four. Go there. She comes out and says it takes 2 to 3 years of classes. She's had 1. She needs another one to build the sustainable program. Are they outperforming what even she thought that maybe this team could do? Because she's brought in a bunch of talent. Now she has a bunch of talent coming in next year. Mm-hmm. Have they outperformed what she expected?
I don't know if outperformed is the right word. Are we surprised? A little bit. But our internal goals are to win championships. And it's funny because this morning I wake up and one of the first notifications on my phone was AP Top 25. And it said, for the first time since 2004, Baylor women's basketball is out of the top 25.
Yep.
So Kim took a program over 2 years ago that won 9 ball games. Here we are halfway through the second season and we're ranked number 3 in the country. You can't tell me that Kim Mulkey hasn't had an impact, and it shows that one person can have a major impact on a program. And she built something at Baylor that maybe only Pat Summitt did at Tennessee, Gino did at UConn. Outside of that, I mean, and she did it for a long time. And I think they had a stretch of like 21 weeks where they were number 1 in the country during that stint at Baylor. But for her to come here and do what she's done in 2 years or year and a half, it's special. And her impact is kind of resonating throughout not only Baton Rouge and the state of Louisiana, but the country.
And not even just women's basketball. I think her personality and the way she goes about her business, I think it rubs off on a lot of the other coaches that she comes in contact with in Baton and at LSU.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of special now that I'm getting to see as a player. When I was in college, I would always go to Texas volleyball. Quite the atmosphere. I mean, sellouts every game. I think they won the national championship this year. I'd go to swimming events. All my friends were student athletes, so I was going to all the sporting events. I think now the coaches that Scott has put in place at LSU are here to stay. I mean, you look at Tanya Johnson, what she did with volleyball this year after not really having a great squad. They kind of had to piece that together. Brian Kelly, who would have thought after the Florida State game we were going to win 10 games? And you won emphatically that 10th game. I mean, you dominated the bowl game. You beat Bama at home. You had some big wins this year, and that momentum's going to carry on. Look at Jay Johnson with baseball. High expectations this year. Gymnastics, like I said, I was at the meet today. They've got a lot of injuries, but they went toe-to-toe with the number one team in the country who won the national championship last year. Track and field's going to be good. I'm sure the golf team.
Those guys an advocate at LSU right now.
No, it's just it's like
he's lobbying for the president.
Cutting a promo.
It's just like when you're out of school like this, the sports teams feed off of each other. It's like the momentum has not stopped since that. What was it, Monday night in New Orleans when we lost to Florida State. It's just been going and going and going. And here we are halfway through January in a pretty good spot. And I think it was really special. Obviously, there were a lot of other things going on yesterday surrounding our program. But to see 11,475 people at our game, the 5th largest crowd in LSU women's basketball history, on a Sunday with no there were students there, but not fully back yet.
School hasn't started yet.
School hasn't started yet. Yeah. So, what's gonna happen when Arkansas comes to town Thursday night? There should not be a letdown. I know it's a late game. I know it's 8:00, and some of our fans might be a little bit older. But students, Thursday nights are the nights to go out. Come to our game from 8 to 10, and then go out.
Yeah, they sell beer, right?
They sell beer. They sell alcohol pregame.
Joe will take you on the golf cart.
Potentially, yeah. It might take a while. I'd love to see. I'll tell you. The coolest experience I've had at LSU, aside from just all the love we get from our fans and that, was when we walked out of the tunnel against Ohio State, NCAA tournament last year, second round. We look up, and the student section sold out. There were texts coming from the fire marshal like, hey, we can't keep letting students in. But why can't
tell it to come?
Why? Yeah, exactly. And they let them all in. It was standing room only. But why can't we have that for a Thursday night game in mid-January?
Right.
Why can't we have it for Tennessee on January 30th? 6 o'clock ESPN2 game, like whiteout. So my challenge to the students, because college is fun and you can go out, you can do all these things, but
drop a class.
Yeah, if you're struggling, you can drop a class. But why not get a group of friends and go to a sporting event?
Yeah.
If you don't like women's basketball, you probably haven't been to one of our games, because there's been many of my friends that, I'm not coming to a women's basketball game. They come, and then they want to come again. Oh, can I get tickets again? Well, tickets are going quick. There's no season tickets left in the lower bowl. So if you want to get tickets, or if you want to come to a game, you better start now, because that wait list is going to get longer and longer. But I think, and I told it to our girls the other day, I sent them a text. So that was special today. I mean, walking out and seeing Simone's statue about to be unveiled, and just the crowd around it.
People.
It was crazy. It was awesome.
And you had people on the roof of the gymnastics building. You had people at the track, up the ramps. It was standing room only. And then the reception we had after in our practice facility, standing room only. The fans at the game, I mean, we're building something special.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about it. But we want the students to be a part of it. And we've got a good, solid core. I know the Balcony Bengals have been phenomenal as far as getting to games. They are absolutely crazy. I know our student section is right by the opposing team's bench, and the opposing teams hate our student section. Good. They should.
Great.
When I was in college and I sat on the end of the bench, I had to hear it from start to finish from OU fans, Kansas fans, Baylor fans. Like, that's what college athletics is all about. So if you're a student at LSU, go to a men's game. Go to a women's game. Enjoy it while you can, because those 4 or 5, maybe 6 years are going to go by fast, and you're going to look back and...
Six, Coach. Jesus Christ. A lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Yeah.
Or Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. Or that dude from Oregon, I saw he just got granted his 9th and 10th year.
There's no way he's going to accept that, huh?
Like, it's crazy.
Is he a basketball guy? Football guy?
No, the football guy.
9 years.
Yeah.
9 times.
But wait,
Nine
talk to us about this, because I think, so for me, like, I'm hearing this conversation, and I think you're 100% right. Like, people don't realize how much coaching matters until you realize, oh shit, coaching matters, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of, like you said, like, okay, if we can completely move ourselves away from saying it was all Kim. Baylor's unranked for the first time since 2004. This team who won 9 games 2 years ago is a top 3 team now. there has to be some sort of thing going on there. You spoke about earlier how she is all about energy and she preaches that. What's her way of going about doing it? Like, everyone's got their. We've all been around the people that are so energetic, so they're always up and going. What's her way of going about doing it? Like, how does she do it? How does she bring that energy and that feel to every day, really? Like, how does she do it?
She honestly, she wants the best for the kids. She's experienced everything that a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach should ever get to experience.
You can tell that when you look at her post-game interviews with the players on the stage with her. Yeah, like the way they kind of interact together and laugh and like kind of have like the inside jokes. Like,
Right.
Coach, y'all are up 20 and she's grabbing Angel Reese and going nose to nose with her.
She holds everyone to an extremely high standard, and that's from Coach Starkey, who's our associate head coach, who has spent more time at LSU than any of us.
He was in the building during when we gave us the tour, and Starkey's still in the building.
Yep. And then, well, that's a difference. I mean, the man does not sleep. He'll be in the office at 4 a.m. and then I'll look up and he's posting something on Instagram at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 6 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, midnight, 2 a.m. He's still like, I don't know when he sleeps, but it starts with Kim. Her energy feeds off to Coach Starkey, and then you have someone like Coach G, who I don't know how he has all the energy that he does, but I mean, that man, there's never no energy with him. He comes in every day, and it just feeds off. It's so contagious right now, just to see what's going on in our program, but it starts with the boss. And she can't do it alone. I mean, it takes a lot, and there's days where she might not feel the best. And there may be days where she says, hey, Coach Starkey, I need you to do this, this, and this. Or assistant coaches, y'all take over. She may not want me to share, but she wasn't feeling great yesterday. She texted our staff and said, I need y'all to be on y'all's best today. I don't feel great.
Pick me up.
There's a lot going on right now. There's allergies, respiratory stuff. I don't sound great. But
I don't feel good.
But that's the stuff I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like, she could have easily just said, hey, I'll show up today and, kind of get through it and do what I got. But she was like, no. Let me nip this in the bud.
Yeah.
I'm letting y'all know I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Y'all have to do this today.
Right.
Letting you know. Pick me up right now. Which is awesome.
And I'm telling you, yesterday there were so many distractions, potential distractions.
Right.
You've got the statue being unveiled. They wanted all the staff to be at the pre-unveiling ceremonies. Well, normally we get to the game about an hour and a half before the game, make sure the girls are ready to go. So there were a lot of moving pieces yesterday. And to see how smoothly things ran, obviously there were some hiccups here and there within our program that aren't nothing major, but we didn't play a perfect game yesterday. But there was every excuse for us to lay an egg yesterday, and I thought we played great. I think there were obviously areas where we could have been better.
Yeah, she didn't like that you.
They
just
didn't
said
score. They didn't score 100.
But a 30-point win against an SEC team, you're not going to complain.
30-point win against anybody, I feel like is something that you're like, okay, we're gonna, we did good. Now, obviously, there's always something you can get better at.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her so good is she never gets complacent. She always strives for excellence, right? What's something that she tells and she kind of like, what's her biggest message that she relays to staff, the players, that you hear it all the time, you're like, this is kind of thing, but then the more you go through it, the more you realize, all right, this shit actually matters.
It's just showing up every day. You can't take a day off. And she always talks about the last time you're going to take off the jersey. You don't know when you're going to get hurt. You don't know when your last game is going to be. Nowadays, you have a little bit of an idea because you're either going to be a graduating senior as a fourth year, you might get that fifth year. But until you play your last game, you don't really realize how quickly it comes to an end. I remember the last time I took off my high school jersey. I was fortunate enough to get to college and continue to put a jersey on. Y'all play pro ball. Y'all know what it's like to take it off for the last time.
All three of us.
Yeah. Intramurals probably.
Yeah. I got a UREC shirt, coach. I mean, intramural champion.
I mean, it's a tough realization, and it's hard to imagine when the last time you're going to do it is, but tomorrow's not promised. That's one thing she's really been talking about lately. Look at DeMar Hamlin's situation. There's so many different examples that you can choose from, and that's the other thing about her. She's such an intellectual person. She reads the news, she watches the news, she sees what's going on around the country, not only in sports but in life. And almost every day, if not every day, she brings some sort of off the court lesson into the locker room. Our group text is nonstop blowing up. I mean, hell, some of our assistant coaches like to call me the news reporter because every time something pops up on Twitter or I see it, I'm the first one to send it in, and they're like, chill with the news. Like, if you have an off day, don't hit the group text today. So I think it's just her ability to connect with the girls and realize that little orange ball that you get to dribble and shoot every day, that's going to stop at some point. Whether you get to go to the WNBA and have an illustrious career, that's everyone's goal that plays college athletics. You want to be a pro. But for the ones who may not be fortunate enough to do it, and do it in a manner that is so luxurious, that's the other thing. The college athletics right now is got to be the best
it's ever been.
Best it's ever been.
Oh, no doubt. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can set yourself up for a long time.
For a long, long time, because you're not going to have it any better than you do now. You're not going to have everyone on a staff telling you, hey, you need to be here at this time. We're giving you these sweats, this top to wear. Here's a new pair of shoes. We're taking a charter bus. We're flying on a extremely nice plane. I mean, Kramer flew with us, I think 2 trips ago, and he was like, this is almost as nice as some of the big league planes I fly on.
Texas A&M forgets their uniform.
And we've got the best managers in the country who would never let that happen. I mean, our managers, like, there could be a drop of sweat on the other end of the court, and you'll see 8 managers sprinting, diving on the floor to wipe it up. But
everybody's held accountable.
Yeah. You have. It's the only way that the ship can sail.
I mean, obviously, she's building something extremely special. They play on Thursday. What time?
We play at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
8 o'clock on Thursday in Baton Rouge at the PMAC. Go ahead and support the girls because they need it. Obviously, they're very good. It's a very good product. Arkansas is a good team. It's going to be a challenge. They need all the help they can get. I would like to see them back in the Final Four in that championship, win it, because obviously it was 2004, 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
They made it there. That was like right when I was about to get to LSU, and so it was exciting.
Parker.
It was great to watch them do it. So I'm glad to see that they are there and that they're on the track to get back to what that was, and I think that they're going to exceed all those things. Dude, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
I kind of the last thing I would say, and I was thinking about this today driving over here, it's the higher that number gets in the rankings, I guess lower technically because 1 would be the lowest, but the highest ranking. The closer you get to number 1, the bigger that target's going to get. And as we found out in SEC football, as we found out in SEC basketball, SEC baseball, you can lose on any given night. So that target's just going to be getting bigger and bigger. It's very well known that a lot of schools in the SEC don't like LSU. There's a lot of people in the country that don't like LSU. So that target's going to be big. And like I mentioned earlier, that challenge for us to continue to fill the PMAC, I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't be getting 10,000 plus at every game, 11,000, 12,000. And then by the end of this season, I mean, let's sell it out a couple times.
Let's do it.
Our kids deserve it. The coaching staff deserve it. And that's the last thing I want to give a shout out to Coach Starkey, because yesterday what he did, and I'm not sure, I'll text it to one of y'all, the link to his speech for Simone was absolutely incredible. He nailed it. And one thing to your point about Coach Mulkey, she decided she wanted to take a step back yesterday. She wasn't at LSU when Simone was there.
No,
she beat Simone.
She was beating her.
She was beating her in the Final Four, but that just shows what type of person Coach Mulkey is. She didn't want to be in the spotlight yesterday. She said, Coach Starkey, you have all the stories about Simone. You recruited Simone. Like, it's yours. And Coach Starkey took it and ran with it. So OG, as we like to call him, he needs to get his flowers.
Does he know what that means?
Oh, yeah. He's OG.
So he seems like he's in the know.
He's the OG.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much positive momentum going.
Well, you can come here and cut a promo anytime you want about women's basketball, because I follow it. I follow it not as closely as I probably should, but I follow it. I do want to. We've talked to you about this.
Yep.
I am going to try to go to some games.
So that was my next question. I get 4 tickets to every game, and they're good seats.
All right.
So Thursday night, you can bring your wife.
He's getting married.
Yeah,
in Cabo. So
tough.
I didn't get invited.
Will not be in town.
When I come back in town, we'll do it.
When we come back, I'm in.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm in. I'm told. As long as the game's on Monday or Wednesday, I'm in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because we
only play Thursdays, Sundays, and some Monday. Alabama we play on a Monday.
Perfect. So I'm in. I do want to come to the game.
What about Tennessee game, January 30th? It's a Monday. You said no Monday.
Yeah, with the show.
Well, we did the show. We could do the show from.
No, that wouldn't work.
What?
Well, how are you gonna be able to hear me?
It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be loud.
What time does the game start?
6:00 that night.
We can figure it out.
We'll try to figure it out. We'll see what we got.
But no, a lot of positive momentum going right now.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I can.
When we get back in town, we'll come.
Yeah, we'll be there.
That's the plan.
We'll be there.
I'm going.
I'm
we
guaranteeing.
got plenty of games left. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we're six.
You
We'll
talk
catch a
about
Thursday night
plenty.
game.
You talk about plenty of games. Obviously, the biggest one on the schedule is a road game.
Yeah, it is, but
I know you can't look ahead.
and it's hard to look
But
ahead.
does
But
it feel like
everyone's
y'all
looking
are-
ahead.
Feels like you're going to be undefeated going into that one. And Don
Well-
Staley has emptied the clip on Kim Mulkey and missed every shot. Sometimes it'd be like that.
And sometimes it be like that. We just one game at a time, and that's another thing. You got the girls. We don't want them to look ahead. They know what's coming. They know what's in the
Yeah.
future. But
You got
If
some
you
dogs, coach.
Angel Reese said it best, Coach. You got some dogs on your hands. With that deep, that strict, deep Baltimore accent. I mean, I go to war with Angel Reese any day of the week.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see them
Yeah.
for the matchup. It's gonna be great.
Hopefully we can keep doing the show till like late March. I mean, early April maybe. That would
I
be.
would love it.
That would
Where
be
is
ideal.
the Final Four this year?
Dallas, Texas.
Wow,
That's an easy trip. That's an easy trip for us,
easy
coach.
trip. Easy trip.
Unfortunately, I don't know how this just happened to work out. The SEC tournament's in Greenville, South Carolina. The two regionals, one is in, I believe, Seattle. The other one's in South Carolina. I don't know how it worked out.
Oh,
They get the
shocking.
SEC tournament and the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, but whatever.
Whatever.
Take us wherever you need to go. We'll go ahead and win. That's part of it, dude. I appreciate you,
Bro,
bro.
we appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you coming on. You
Thursday?
can cut a promo here anytime you
8
want.
o'clock.
8 o'clock.
I got you.
Let's go.
What happened?
You just secured a ticket to the game on Thursday.
There you go. You're
Exactly.
in.
I'm in.
You're in.
Coach did get onto the staff about not giving their tickets away. She goes, I keep looking up and there's not people in those seats. Y'all better give your tickets away.
How much does she? Is that a thing every time? Because Jordy tells a story of they went to Gino's. It was like a Thursday, 11 a.m. and they were like doing a lunch meeting or whatever. And Kim Mulkey walks and goes, "Well, I know y'all got money because y'all at Gino's at 11
Yeah.
o'clock." And
Why
she's
haven't
like,
you bought
"When
season
when I
tickets?"
come back here, I'll just see y'all got season tickets."
Uh-huh.
And they said everybody there like felt like they had to get their phone out and get season tickets.
And
Like,
they did.
I'm coming to come check on you. And they're like, she wasn't bluffing.
No.
She went back to the table. It was like, show me that you bought season tickets. They're like, I'm terrified right now.
And this is one thing we can use in recruiting is the number of season tickets sold. I mean, we're well over 5,000
And
right
she's
now.
still boots to the
Oh,
ground.
got to. We got to be. I mean, because what that shows recruits is that we're not satisfied with 5,000
This
tickets
ain't
sold.
bullshit.
I mean, we're trying to build something very, very special. And I'm telling you, this class of 24
Oh, my
that we
God.
have, 23 class is phenomenal. We've got some of the best players in the country coming. I think all four of them have been named
McDonald's
to-
All-Americans.
to nominated for the McDonald's game. So they haven't been selected yet, but nominated. And then the class of 24, we've got our eyes on some big time people. And word on the street is we might get a couple commits pretty soon.
Heyo.
Love it.
So
Hate to break news over here.
Let us know. We'll break it for you.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
And
you
then
know Mike
have
Dubb's
the-
got us.
Yeah, and then you have the spelling bee champ, that like eighth grader that is maybe the best basketball player of all time. That she won the spelling bee. I think from New Orleans, correct?
from
I
New
don't
Orleans.
know if you could talk about this. I don't
Can't
wanna
really-
put you in a
can't really
bad
talk
spot.
Can't
about
talk
it.
about recruits. Come on.
I
you're getting
know,
in
but she's
trouble.
like 12. I feel like it's okay. I don't even know if she wants to play basketball or not. But that's where you're trending now, because LSU was in the doldrums until Kim got here, and it shows you that coaches coach.
I'm telling you, last thing I'll say, and then I know we're wrapping it up. She's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Michael Jordan.
The fact that that school back in Waco, my hometown, let LSU have her, we could not be better for me. I mean, I love it here. Our staff loves it here. All they had to do was put her name on the court. She deserved it. Put a statue up, anything. But here we are at LSU. Simone just got her statue up.
Really think about that.
Sylvia might get a statue put up.
Might.
She deserves one.
100%.
There's a lot of people lobbying for different things to go on at LSU, but I mean, the woman's a winner.
PMAC
Yeah.
or some
The Kim Mulkey Assembly Center.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, they just make it Kim Mulkey Court and get all that over with.
Yeah. So
Man, a lot of good things happen.
it's fun.
So much fun.
I
It's fun.
appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you coming on. You can stay on, and we're gonna about to close it down. So instead of just taking a break, unless you got somewhere to be right like this second,
I'm good.
we're gonna close it down and go through the seggies.
Yeah, let's roll through.
You good with that? You got the little game on it there?
I might.
What you got? Give me a little
I'm not
update.
giving anything. I'm not saying anything.
Give me a little update on the score.
6-0.
6-0.
0-0.
Who's winning?
Who you think?
Oh,
I hope the Bucks.
No, 6-0 Cowboys up.
Really? They scored a touchdown, 2 field
I don't
goals.
know. No clue.
I
I would imagine 2 field goals.
Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Oh, we did a little earlier.
We did Super Bowl
What's your
contestants,
Super
not
Bowl
actual
pick?
pick.
You know, when DeMar Hamlin went down, I said the Bills. I said it's just fate.
They're gonna win it.
I think they're gonna win it.
So I have them. We just picked Super Bowl matchup. I have the Bills playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
He has the
I had
Chiefs.
the Chiefs and the 49ers.
I got.
But I
Chiefs,
would
Niners
love
also.
to see the Bills win because of the DeMar Hamlin
Yeah.
situation. And then I also said, I was like, man, it's hard for me to believe. Like, I'd love to see the Bengals because of Joe and Jamar and all, right? But I'm like, man, that means they'd have to beat the Chiefs for a 4th straight time.
After beating the Ravens.
After beating the Ravens, after beating a destiny-ridden Bills team. I'm like, that just seems like it's impossible to do. I was like, I don't know how it's going to – that just seems impossible to do.
It's the Chiefs.
I just that God works in mysterious ways. How did Kim Mulkey end up at LSU? How are the Bills going to end up winning the Super Bowl? Mark it down. What's today's date? January 16th. That's my pick to win it all.
I like it. I like the pick.
I like it.
But you know what? Super Bowl Sunday, I'm hoping I don't give a rat's ass about that game because we'll be in South Carolina.
Oh, that's
Taking care
Super
of
Bowl
business.
Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
There you go.
So I'm hopefully I think it's a noon game.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Y'all just go. Y'all beat that ass, and then y'all come back, and y'all can watch Super Bowl.
I have to do a watch.
Hopefully
party.
that's a big day to
Bad
celebrate.
deal.
So.
But we'll be doing a watch party for the. We already announced.
So shoot us
The
for Super
Colada
Bowl.
Show is going to be doing a watch party for the women's basketball game against South
Oh,
Carolina.
really?
So I'm just going to be there all
nice.
day. Is what
That's
it
good.
sounds
Just
I mean,
like.
it's
roll it
fun.
on over.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only drink for so long.
But can you?
False.
That's I mean, you know.
I've
me.
seen you on game days.
Same.
Take it easy.
Still alive.
Take it easy. It only sounds like 6 hours right there. That's easy.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the let's get to
It's
the
a normal
seggies.
Tuesday.
Come on.
Let's get to the seggies. Are you gonna? You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Our
you
current
go
call.
ahead.
Current call is brought to you
Let's get
by
what tune's going.
Dozy Place. Okay. Are you gonna do the current call first? You
Yeah,
you
y'all
do
go
your
first.
current
You-
call.
I'll
first.
run through it. I'll
you
give you
do
mine
all-
first because, I mean, we already talked about mine about 13 times already tonight. But mine will be to, I guess you can call it Doug Peterson and that Jaguars team, right? Obviously, the game that they played was crazy. You don't ever
Louisiana
really,
boy.
You don't ever exactly. You don't ever really
Shreveport.
see something like
He
that.
knows his sports, bro.
There you go.
He
yeah.
does, dude. I think you might be smart.
You don't ever really see some stuff like that, right? For me, you know, you bring up the Christian Kirk situation, how he had to overpay him. Well, they overpaid Christian Kirk. They overpaid Evan Ingram. They overpaid, I don't know if it was Zay Jones or if it was Marvin Jones. But they overpaid all three of them. You know what all three of them did? They all set career high in catches this year. Seems like they did a good job of scouting, right? So you bring those guys in. They all do that. You take a number one, should have been or could have been a number one overall quarterback who, under another coach who had been great in other spots, looked like shit last year.
And the bar.
And the bar. He's great in the bar. Looked terrible
Love the
last year,
bar.
right? Comes back this year, looks terrible in the first half. Hats off to Doug Peterson for continuing to believe in him, continuing to put the ball in his hand, continuing to ask him to make decisions and execute, and they somehow come back and win that game. I think it shows you that Doug Peterson is actually a
Very good coach.
Very, very good coach.
He also helped my bank account, which
Curtain
I
call
love that even more.
Curtain call Doug.
Love that.
What you got, Lloyd?
My curtain call is I was trying to find the video. I can't find it. And I'm tired of getting flagged a little bit.
I'm tired of you getting
By
flagged.
the time you get tired of it, I like that.
I know, but I'm just trying to make the show better. Bronny James, he's catching all the business from the crowd, and people are going to be put on notice about how good this cat is.
He's getting better. Every time I see something, I feel like he's getting better and better.
He
Like
spayed in a game like a month ago where he goes between the legs in the game, which the last person I saw do that was Jarrell Martin for LSU. And
Jarrell Martin.
And then Bronny does it in high school. I remember watching him not being able to dunk, and now he's spaying in the game.
Yeah, but how old was he when he couldn't dunk? You know what I mean?
12.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
The Lejeans are kicking in, and he's got
the Lejeans.
and he's got the whole crowd against him. Like, of course, he's gonna have you talk about a target on your back. He's got one, and he is not scared of the moment, man. Like, this is gonna be incredible to see. And shout out Will Wade. You got him at least in an LSU t-shirt.
Shout out to Will Wade to who?
Will Wade. He sent him a T-shirt, a little package, and
That's
he was
good.
wearing it on vacation.
That's good.
We almost had a shot.
Almost had a shot. Didn't have a shot. I don't think anybody's gonna have a shot. The rules are gonna be changed by the time he gets to.
LeBron's
gets
gonna
to
change the
pro.
rules.
So you think
No, the rules are getting changed. I already said that it's probably gonna happen. Where you got a high school.
you think he'll actually play a game with his dad in the NBA?
Absolutely.
Full season or a game?
Full season.
I don't know, dude. I mean,
He's definitely gonna play with him.
I don't think that he's gonna get drafted out of high school.
LeBron's gonna be sixth man of the year.
I don't think that he's gonna get drafted out of high school. I think he's gonna have to go to college first.
At least 1 year, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
His NIL evaluation is the highest of anyone.
Of course, but
Well,
that
look who
doesn't.
his dad is. His dad's one of the richest athletes.
Well, I know that, Joe.
He shouldn't. Honestly, the school shouldn't even have to pay him anything for NIL because all of his name and stuff.
It's still Thad Matta.
As long as he could just.
He should just be getting a
Yeah,
cut
as long
of
as he
whatever
could
the
just.
fuck
As long
it
as he
is
can. He's
while
just,
he's there.
Yeah, exactly.
State.
Is
Exactly.
it Holtman? Chris Holtman?
I don't know.
I don't know who their coach is. It used to be Thad, and that's sad. I had a buddy who played for Ohio State.
Do you know Jordan Spieth?
Huh?
Do you know Hayes Myers?
No. Cole Hammer though.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
they called
yeah.
me in high school.
He had a fun.
What's your curtain call? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, why were you? We're just
I'm glad he was doing that because I don't know if I have
I'm
one.
trying to buy some. I can see this man struggling.
I
with
don't
my
know if I have
glasses.
one.
I'm sitting there looking at him like, what are you doing right now?
I'm
can
looking
see
at.
Mikey not
I'm looking through
be
these things and I'm
prepared.
like, I don't know what I want. I had one, and then I was
Why
like,
don't you
well,
give
I
it to
don't
CJ
really.
Stroud?
No.
Go into the
Not
league.
CJ Stroud. Well, and also then Walker, as I'm looking through it, Walker sent out his like tweet of like his letter to LSU saying that he's leaving LSU and moving on. Like, duh, we know that. We've already announced that.
Oh, he
in
just
the portal.
officially
Where's he gonna end
announced.
up?
I don't know, man. I mean,
Canada.
I think everybody talks about obviously TCU's like the easy choice, but you know he was at Ole, I know he was visiting Ole Miss. I know people are talking. They're throwing Alabama and Georgia. I don't think he goes to either of those schools.
Oh, why don't you give it to Golding? Peter.
Pete?
Yeah.
I give it to Pete. Texted him the other day. I said, man, it's a lot easier for me to root for Ole Miss than it is Alabama.
Absolutely.
So he said, he goes, yeah, I can see that. And so, yeah, Pete Golding, my brother-in-law's brother. Not my brother-in-law, my brother-in-law's brother.
So what does that make him?
My brother-in-law's brother.
You don't have a name for that?
I don't think there's a name for that.
He just told you what it
My
was.
brother-in-law's brother. That'd be a
shout out to
cousin.
him. Hey, listen, I will say this. It has nothing. People are like Alabama, like, oh, I wanted him out of there. He stinks. He wasn't very good. All right, save it. Right? Nick Saban likes him. It had nothing to do with Saban getting rid of him. The defense was like third or fourth rated defense in the country this year. Save it, okay? Get off your high horse. He did an unbelievable job especially for the way the football is being played right now.
Yeah.
So he goes to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin makes a lateral move. He's getting a pay raise to go. He turned down a pay raise to leave Alabama. So they wanted to keep him, obviously. You don't get rid of somebody and offer him a pay raise if you don't want him gone. So he goes to Ole Miss.
That'd be news to me.
It's best for his family for him to go, right? That's what he said. That's what he had a conversation with Saban. So heard what the rumors are on the Twitter streets is that he had this conversation. He got the blessing from Saban. He is going to Ole Miss because it's the best move for him and his family. And I think, look, if he goes out to Ole Miss and he changes that defense and they dominate defensively, he's going to be the hottest name. He's going to be the hottest name in the head coaching search out there. He may be at Ole Miss for 1 or 2 years, but if he can turn that defense around, he's going to be good. So my current call is him.
It also sounds to me like even if he like doesn't truly have head coach aspirations, like
He does, though. I mean, that's what he wants to do.
I'm just saying, in the sense of if that doesn't happen, if that opportunity where he wants to go doesn't happen, Saban doesn't have that many years left in him.
No.
He's going to die?
But here's the deal. Do you want...
Dude, I want to throw this mic at you tonight.
Do you want...
Like, what are you talking about?
Do you want to be the next guy after Saban is the question.
No.
Let me finish. Somebody's got to come after Saban, so if it's not him...
I'm with you there.
Lane's still lurking. If he goes and does really well at Ole Miss...
He takes a job at Ole Miss,
maybe they both go back. Like, there's so many opportunities for him.
Does Dabo leave Clemson?
Somebody followed up Joe Paterno.
I don't think Alabama wants Dabo, to be honest with you.
I think Dabo's done.
I hate Dabo so much.
I'm not a huge Dabo fan.
Not either.
But
I believe in name, image, likeness of Christ.
Okay.
What an idiot.
I mean, come on, dude. You can't... I mean, not an idiot. Just that was a little...
Lloyd is a menace today,
that was
bro.
a stretch.
He is on one today.
Yeah.
Dude, Dabo is a soft spot for me. I just cannot stand. I can't. He's doing it to himself. Like, Clemson was in the money the entire time, and then he's just anti-paying players, and it's so obvious that he just has an axe to grind. Like, Dabo, get with it or get lost. You're about to lose yourself your job. You're running a fake field goal to your own son and getting mollywopped. Like, get it
They only
together.
lost 2 games
He
this
didn't
year.
run that. That's not how that goes.
He called it for his child.
Okay. This is a great day. Great show. Great Monday show. We'll be back again Wednesday live from 6 to 8.
Control today.
Mike Triplett, he covers New Orleans Saints for New Orleans football. New Orleans football. He's going to be on the show at 6:30 on Wednesday to talk about all of these Sean Payton rumors that we already discussed early on. He's going to have a little bit more detail, I would assume, on what is going on, what is being offered, who is he going to visit with, who is he talking with. So we're going to have him on, and we may have a couple other guests. We have some things in the works. We'll see what happens, but we always love being back with you. A cup of coffee. We always love being back. We always love being back here on the show on Mondays. We can't wait to be back on Wednesday. And then after Jared ties the knot and gets married, we will start having Friday shows again from studio until we figure out where we want to go on site and do stuff for the baseball game.
We're gonna do it from the women. We're gonna do it from the PMAC.
We don't play on Fridays.
They don't play on Fridays.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
All right, feel free.
There we go.
Come by and practice.
Yeah.
Gotta get Mulkey on the show.
We gotta get her on.
So we have 2 bye weeks. We have Bama, and then we have a bye week, and then.
All right. So what's better, Monday or Wednesday for her?
You gotta ask something on me. I'm the wrong person.
You gotta ask Starkey.
I'll ask her.
Yeah.
I'll ask Kramer.
He definitely doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I'll reach out. We'll reach out.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Our people will talk to
I
y'all's
wanna get her in
people. We'll
studio.
figure it out.
I will say we get a bye week before Tennessee.
I would love to get her in studio. I don't know if she would do that, but
I know
we could do maybe definitely a video call. We'll get her on.
We get a bye week before Tennessee, bye week before South Carolina.
All right, there we go. Love that.
Oh, the bye week before.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be
That'd be great. That'd be the time. That'd be the time. Let's do that before South Carolina.
All right, book it.
All right.
We'll see if we can make it
We'll see you on Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Hopefully, Tampa Bay wins. It doesn't look very good right now.
What just happened wasn't good.
It does not look very good right
I
now.
told you that.
You're right. You're right.
Wasn't good.
We're watching a Canadian feed of this game. By the
Yeah,
way,
you're welcome.
Lloyd, what are you?
Tom just did something he hasn't done since 2019. Not good.
We get
threw
divorced.
an interception.
Red zone.
In the red
First
zone.
time since 2019.
Wow, tough. Okay, my best's not looking good. My weekend this weekend in the NFL was not very good, but
The road to 2K is never easy.
there's always other games. All right, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of the Monday Night Football game. We will be back on Wednesday. Love y'all. Watch your mic'd up.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Thank you.